I'm gonna wait until a couple people are in. At least some. I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. Is there a Mahjong folder here? There is not, so let's make a Mahjong folder. Turns and hits. So copy all of this in here. I wonder if that works. Fuck! Oh yeah, nice. That did save that. Sweet.
Don't have enough space around me.
Alright, we'll wait until it's 5 past and then I'll just start explaining. I'm making a list of terms that I need to address. Okay, colors. What are the colors? Pin, Sue, Sue? No, Man, Pin, So. Oh, I haven't played this in a while. Numbers, circles, cracks. I love when people say cracks. And the boundary. Winds are tall. west. Hey, north. There was something about the north piece, but I forgot what it was. There was something about declaring reach with the north piece. I forgot what it was. Was it Heimdall? I don't remember everything. And then the dragons. White. Hot. Green. Shun. Wow, I don't even remember the words for that. What? Color is also called suits. Yo, hi Vector Sigma. How you doing? Early today. Oh, you weren't here yesterday. Where were you? At the end? When we checked my emails? I'm not sure. Because that's the reason why I'm early today. Not at the end, yeah. Okay, so... hang on. 1 second. I'll just check. Oh wait, cool. Oh god. Ah, whatever. It's gonna be fine. Fired! No. No, oh god, no. Just the opposite. I got the confirmation that I will be playing the World Championship in Mahjong this year. In Vienna, and that means I need to practice. So at the beginning of every stream, alright, so also this part will be recorded and set to YouTube for later on, so this will kind of now be the start. So I'm gonna start talking about that and start explaining. So I will be taking part in the Reach Mahjong World Championship this year, which is in August and in Vienna. I qualified because I qualified for... thank you. I qualified for 2020, and that was frozen because it didn't take place because of certain things. And then 2021 also didn't happen, so it was all carried over to 2022. And therefore, at the beginning of every stream, we're going to do 30 minutes of Mahjong. And we're also going to start the stream 30 minutes early, so it still aligns with what people are used to with regards to the regular content. But I guess for those who are interested, or for the original 50 people who followed me back in the day when I started this channel, the actual expected content of Mahjong. Madness. Right. So, I'm going to begin the madness to method. There is method to the madness. I don't know. I'm going to begin explaining. Feel free to post questions in chat. I'm going to be using both the Japanese and the English words whenever I know both. And it might be that sometimes I only know the English term and sometimes I only know the Japanese term. And in that case, I will still explain them all. So, this is played with the same pieces that you play that you play Mahjong Solitaire with, right? So you know that game where you always take away from a heap in pairs of 2, right? It's the same pieces, but originally it's a game for 4 players. And we're going to take a look at how that works and what these are. But first, let's focus on the tiles themselves. What I have here are 2 Mahjong sets. I'll rotate it like this so we have better lighting. This is a cheap one from China. This is an expensive one from Japan. The only advantage of this one is that... Yo, Mahjong! Hey! Mike. No. Michael, right? It's the cool tile game. It is indeed. So the only advantage that this set has over the other, man, long time to see. Good to hear from you. Is that this has numbers on what every tile is, whereas this does not. So if you don't speak Japanese, then it will be difficult to get used to these, or at least at the beginning. Now, if you want to play along, I recommend the following. Just so you can get a feel for what it is, and a brief overview over the rules, but I will explain all, or the most important ones, in this instruction stream and in this instruction video, depending on whether you're currently watching on Twitch or later watching on YouTube. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of these tiles. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack. But first of all, most importantly, every tile exists exactly 4 times. Right? So we have 3, as opposed to the 4 suits you have in regular card games, we have 3 suits in Mahjong, which are these bamboo tiles, also called so, these circle tiles, also called pins, and these number tiles called man. Let me put it this way around, called man. Now, for the pins, it's all fairly easy. The number it represents, each of those represent a number from 1 to 9. For the pins, it's fairly easy. The number it represents is just the number of circles. So this is the pin 1. I can put this a bit closer, maybe. This is the pin 1, and it has a 1. This is pin 3 and pin 5. And it's also written in the corner. For the bamboos, it is quite similar. It's just the number of bamboo sticks that you see. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to differentiate between the 9 and the 6. And the 8 looks a bit weird. But most importantly, and do not forget this is the bamboo 1. Right? In this set, it looks like this. I can't get those out easily. So this is the bamboo 1 in the Mahjong, in this set. And this is a sparrow. And the Chinese word for sparrow is Mahjong, I believe. And that's where the name of the game comes from. So it's the sparrow's game. So there's other pieces that are, and then the so pieces, which, so it's not a peacock, no. Wild, yeah. So bamboo is also known as so, circles are also known as pin, and the numbers are also known as man. And they have what you can see here. Underneath is a Chinese symbol for 10,000, and above are the numbers from 1 to 9. So if you're not used to those, you need to learn. Depending on where the set is met, it's often a national bird. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yes, feel free to spread in some trivia. Right. That's the 3 regular suits, and then there's 2 more kinds of extra pieces, which also appear 4 times each. There's the dragons. Let me just find a couple of dragons. Yeah, well, that's convenient. 1 second. So there's the red dragons, the green dragons, and the white dragons, which are completely blank. And then there's also the winds. And the winds, or the directions, are, as you'd imagine, east, south, and let me see if we have some other directions somewhere else where they're easily seen, west and north. Now, when you will see me play, I will be playing on this set. Or on a set that vaguely resembles this. So you'll need to kind of figure out what each of these are. Real life Mahjong tutorial, indeed, Cloudato. Welcome in, Doc. So on the one hand, you will need to learn the Chinese characters for the numbers from 1 to 9, but that's fairly straightforward after some time. And on the other hand, you'll need to differentiate between the winds and possibly the green dragon. That can be a bit confusing at the beginning. Then there's also dice and points. I don't really want to get into that too much currently. All you need to know is this is worth 1,000 points. And you will we'll go through that, what that means later. So, I think for this tutorial we will continue with this set for now, just so you can get a feel for the tiles without it being too worrying, without having to think about like what tile is what and whatnot. Okay. So, as discussed, this is a game for 4 players. So 4 players will be sitting on a square table, or around a square table rather, each having their own tiles, which will be 13 tiles, and they continuously draw a tile and discard a tile in order to improve their hand. They draw from a wall and they discard into a common pond discard area. Now, what is the goal of these 13 tiles that people need to collect? Let me give a few examples of things that can happen and should happen. What you want is, in the end, is 1 pair, so the same piece twice, and special sets of 3 that work together. Now, a pair is easily found, just the same piece twice. Like this, pair of pin 9. Maybe I can zoom in a little. Hang on, let me try to see. That is here. Oh, can I zoom on this? I don't know. Let me try. No, I can't. Dang it. Can I zoom here? Great, it's doing updates. Anyway, so this is a pair, and then what else you need is either a triplet of the same piece. Good to see you back with the tiles. It feels good to be back. So, for example, you could have 3 red dragons. So that would be a triplet. Another thing you can have is a sequence. And a sequence is just in the order that you have, always a sequence of 3, starting somewhere around 1 and ending somewhere around 9. So for example, 2, 3, 4 is a valid sequence. 1, 2, 3 is a valid sequence. 7, 8, 9 is a valid sequence. 8, 9, 1 is not a valid sequence, despite some people trying that in the beginning. It won't work. Can we or are we required to have? You will acquire during the game. So, first of all, at the beginning of the game, your hand will be all jumbled up, right? And then you have some kind of hand, and then you discard a piece and you pick a piece. You discard a piece and you pick up a piece. And now I've got a pair. Right, yeah, that's... Okay, my Logitech does not want to zoom in. Then I'll zoom in manually. Okay. By placing that guy right here. Okay. Alright. So. Right? So imagine you have like, which way is up? This way is up. This pair and these other pieces. We'll ignore for now that an actual hand consists of many, many more pieces, because usually it's 13. But just to get a feel for it, what you're looking for is, like, for example, if you have this pair and you throw something away that doesn't fit in there, and then you pick a piece, and now you have a triplet. So you need to get a pair from somewhere else, right? So let's say you throw away the 2 and then pick the 7, right? And now you have another pair. Which doesn't mean that you can't still use this as a pair, but you'd have to throw one of them away at some point. Now, so the valid sets essentially are a pair, a triplet, We'll go into quadruplets at a later point, and a sequence. Now, the great thing about sequences is that they are much easier to get for several reasons. Number one, there's only 4 pieces. Each tile only exists exactly 4 times in the entire game, right? So if you want to get a triplet of them, that means you need to get like 75% of that exact tile throughout the entire game. You'd be surprised how likely it still is to get triplets. But, yeah. So that's why it's rather difficult to get triplets. Sequences, however, you only need, for example here, 2, 3, 4. You only need 1 of the 2s, 1 of the 3s, and 1 of the 4s. Right? So sequences are usually easier to get. Oh, you need to hurry and get Blessings of the Heaven. Tenho. The Hand of the Heavens. That is when you have the winning hand as the very first starting hand. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen Renho a couple of times. Too bad can't watch, my phone can't keep up. I'm very sorry. It will be released as a VOD later on, if you want to catch up with it. Alright. Now, imagine the following situation. You have 5 and 7, and you have 3 and 4. Now each of those is possible to complete into a sequence, but one is much easier than the other. Because 3 and 4 is both waiting on a 2 and a 5, which I, for some reason, do not have ready. Why do I not have a 5 ready? Because they're all in here. Right. So 3, 4 can be completed by 2 for 2, 3, 4, or by 5 for 3, 4, 5. Whereas if you have 7 and 5, really the only thing you can do is hope that at some point a 6 will come. You'll watch the VOD. You actually like Mahjong and learning to play. Nice. Keep in mind that this is these are the Japanese rules. Well, the Japanese rules. It's one Japanese rule set of many, which is a bit annoying, but right, there we go. 5, 6, 7. Now that trick with the two-sided weight is what it's called. Of course, doesn't work in the end on the edges, right? Because if you take 9 and 8, you can't complete that with a 1, right? That's forbidden. And remember, this is bamboo 1. So this one is really only a one-sided weight for the 7, and the same for the bottom. Right. This is all very important later on. So. But that is, let me just check, is that all that I want to say with the actual tiles before I head into the... No, we'll head, from here on, we will head into the actual gameplay. But I'll tell you this, at the beginning of the game, all tiles are shuffled, face down, and then you build walls stacked like this. Walls of 2. Right? Two on the bottom, 2 on the top. And then each player takes pieces in chunks of 4 until they have their hand. And that's something you will very, very briefly see at the very beginning of the program that we're about to start. Now, I'm very sorry, in that program, there is no, everything is in Japanese, and it's the same one that I have linked. If you type !Mahjong and want to follow along, it will be that very program with that very rule set that we will be using. So let me just put this down. And say goodbye to NotesCam. Doesn't work? Okay, I'll manually disable it. Okay. And of course I have not prepared any captures of any windows. Okay. But that's okay. This up here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Actually, I'll go into this mode and just capture the entire desktop. I think that's fine. Maybe it isn't. We'll figure out. We'll find it out. Okay, so if you want to follow me along on that link and just click that button here on the bottom right, then you also can see what is happening. Does that disappear immediately? Okay, I can confirm it. Now, you'll see several things on the screen here, and we'll go through them one by one. First of all, this is the dealer marker. It signifies who is the first dealer. It will remain in its position for the entire round. Each round consists of, in the way we're playing here, of 8 hands, some of which may be repeated. So we will start with him in the east. East always starts. East is the most important position. And this is the symbol for east. And so we start in the east round. We start in the first east round. That's why there is an east and a 1 symbol here. Now, he is the dealer, so he gets to throw the dice, which determines where the wall gets broken. Now, you don't see the much of the remaining part of the wall here. Oh, there's actually perfect. But you do see like everyone's hands. Well, you only see my hand, but you see that everyone has their hand of 13 tiles, and then he was the dealer, so he goes first. He picked a piece, and he discarded a piece or a tile. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more. And then move that maybe slightly to the right. Ah, but that's annoying there then. That over here. Then just put like here. There. There we go. I think that's fine. Okay. So, let's take a look at our hand. We have, in the 3 suits, the number tiles, or the mun tiles, the pin tiles, or the circle tiles, and the bamboo tiles, or the saw tiles. Remember that this is the bamboo one. We also have a pair of south winds. And over here we see the tile we last picked, which is another mun tile. Let's go through the tiles once more, and now counting what they actually are. So we have a 4, a 6, and a 7 of mun, and a 9 and another 9. We have a 6 and an 8 of circles, a 1 of bamboo, 2, 3, 4 of bamboo, and a 6 of bamboo, and 2 south winds. Now, every player has a position, depending on which position, has a wind depending on which position he's sitting in. So, the dealer is always east. The dealer is signified by where the dice lie. While he is the first dealer, the dealer will move on, but this plaque will remain. So this signifies the first dealer. So these dice say that he is the dealer. The dealer is east, and then counterclockwise, we move on east, south, west, north. Now you're saying, hang on, that's upside down, that's mirrored, and that's correct. And there are several different historical explanations on why that is like that, but we will not focus on that. I can talk about that later, maybe. Now, hang on. Igiari. Right. So, if he's east, that means we are south. And we have a pair of south winds. That is good. But we don't know why that is good yet. We'll get to explore why that is good later. There are actually 2 ways to make a pattern in your hand. Number 1 is to pick a piece and discard a piece, right? And by picking a piece, you hope that you get a good piece that you can put into your hand, and then discard a piece that you don't want in your hand. The other way is by calling something that someone else has discarded. That means if someone were to discard a south wind now, and I have 2 of them, I can call that and have a triplet like that. It also means that it's my turn, because I picked up a piece. Right. So, we picked up the 9. We have 4, 6, and 7 here. 6 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. What would you guys discard here? I know what I would discard. So, obviously the 2 south winds we want to keep. The 2 9s, if we want to make this into a triplet, then we still need a pair. So the 2 9s are actually a quite decent pair to have. And who knows, it might turn into a triplet on its own. The 1, 2, 3, 4 we definitely do not want to break apart. And if we get a 5, then it turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's also good. So we don't want to get rid of those. We have 4 and 6, which... we have 6 and 8, which can turn into 6, 7, 8 as a sequence. Doesn't have to. This is generally an interesting initial hand. So this is kind of weak, but it's like there is inspiration for a possible pattern there. We don't want to discard the 2 9s, as I said before, because they are a good chance for a pair. And then we have 4, 6, and 7. And this is where it gets a bit more easier to rank what is important and what is not. Remember, 4 and 6 can form a sequence only with the 5 in the middle. But 6 and 7 can make a sequence with both a 5 at the beginning or with an 8 at the top. Right? So we can have 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8. Therefore, in my opinion, the tile that fits least into this hand would be the Mun 4 here. So we're going to discard the Mun 4. The 9 will go into our hand. I'm not going to talk about Yakus just yet. Alright, let's see what happened. He discarded an East Wind. They discarded a Bamboo 9. And they discarded a Mun 1. A number 1. We picked up a West Wind. Now, the West Wind is completely useless to us. Depending on how aggressive or defensive you play, you might want to keep track of the to keep the West Wind. And also, depending on which rule set you play, whether you're playing Sakizuke or Artozuke, which I'm not going to go into, you might especially not want to discard this. But for now, we'll discard this, because we're going to be aggressive. Now, this piece is blinking because we have an option down here. This says Chi. Chi is a called sequence. Now, this is a Bamboo 1, and we have Bamboo 2 and 3, so we could call this one and complete it with this 2 and 3 into a sequence of 1, 2, 3. Now hang on, why couldn't you do this with the Bamboo 2? Because you could have called the Bamboo 2 into a sequence of 2, 3, 4, right? Ah, no, because sequences can only be called from the left, right? So only, don't throw the word right in there. So sequences only from the left, triples from everywhere. But we don't, the problem with calling tiles instead of, yo, hey Dave! The problem with calling tiles instead of, also, since this is the introduction tutorial, this will be longer than just 30 minutes. So, if we want to call this tile, are you writing all of this down? You don't have to, because it will be released as a VOD. Then that means that this will be fixed, right? We promise to use that and not throw it away. And the only way that we can actually promise that is by opening our hand. That means that we will take this and the 2 and the 3, and we will permanently display them at the side of our hand open. Know how these are all standing and are therefore closed, but if something is called, it is open. And you can see them. Everyone can see them. It also means that our hand is open and therefore less valuable. So we're going to skip. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that nice? We got our third south wind. That is a triplet of south winds, which is a fairly nice pattern indeed. Now we have to make a really, really difficult decision. So... I want to sleep at 4 and set my alarm to make it I went to sleep at 4 and set my alarm to make it for the stream. Yes, but the stream started half an hour earlier. I'm terribly sorry if you missed that first part. That means you also missed how these work. So let me just run in a quick recap. 3 suits as opposed to the 4 in traditional card games. We have the number tiles, the pin tiles, and the bamboo tiles. These are Chinese characters, so it's 6, 7, 9, 9. They're all between 1 and 9. So this is the circles 6, circles 8, self-explanatory because that's the number of circles on them. Bamboo 2, 3, 4, 6. This is the bamboo 1. Bamboo 1 is a sparrow. In Chinese, Mahjong, so therefore Mahjong. These are the south winds. There's other than these 3 suits, there's also winds and dragons. So there's 4 winds, east, south, northwest, and 3 dragons, red, green, and white. Now, we picked up the south wind, making it a triplet. We need 1 pair, and the rest has to be triplets and sequences. We have a triplet here. We have a pair here. This is promising to become a sequence. This could become 2 sequences. This can become 1 sequence. I am going to discard this 8 for reasons that might become obvious later. Alright, he discarded a pin 2, he discarded a green dragon, and they discarded a bamboo 3. We could call this into a sequence, but I really don't want to. And as fate has it, we picked up another 8. We'll just throw it away again. Ooh! Now it's interesting. If you are 1 piece away from a full complete hand, meaning if all you need to do is throw 1 bad tile away, and then with the next correct tile you pick, have a complete hand, and your hand is closed, then you are in Tenpai. And Tenpai means one away from winning. If you have a closed hand and are in Tenpai, what you can do is you can promise to never change your hand again, and just only discard and pick up until you win, or until the number of tiles is depleted. How you do that is you declare reach by saying reach or Richi, putting 1000 points in the middle of the table, and making that discard turn sideways. There are several reasons to do that. We're not going to go into them right now. It just means that this hand is now dangerous. This player is now dangerous. We have picked up a north piece. This should be safe. Now, I'm saying safe because if he is aggressive and he has a good hand, we don't want to deal into his hand. Because here's an interesting thing about the way Japanese Mahjong works. If he picks the winning tile itself, then the value of the hand is paid out and we have to pay him. If he picks it himself, we all 3 have to pay. If someone discards the tile that he needed, then that player who discarded pays all of it. So, in general, the shares are 1, 1, 2. The dealer pays double. If the dealer wins, it's 2, 2, 2. The dealer gets double. And on a direct hit, it's just the triple value, which is actually the base value. Right. We're gonna hope that he doesn't want north, because it's east, south, west, north. So it's unlikely that he's going for north. Ooh! Look at that. Very interesting. Very sneaky. So he discarded a 5 of Man, and he called Ron. Ron is the winning shout, if you will. This means that he was also in Tenpai, but he didn't declare reach. No, he was silent. So he kind of didn't tell anyone that he was actually also just waiting for another piece. And he threw a piece, and that's the last piece that he wanted, and that means he wins. The dealer wins. He will now open his hand and show us what he had. So let's take a look. Ooh. Ah. Okay. So, what we can see immediately is a triplet of green dragons. What we can also see is a sequence 2, 3, 4 of circles, and we can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of bamboo. Right? So we have one triplet, 3 sequences, and he called this pair. So actually he didn't even have a pair to begin with, but he was just ready for this pair. Right? So this is the 14th tile that he gets, and therefore completes his hand and wins. The problem is, you cannot win with every hand. Just because you have your patterns of 3, 3, 3 and a pair does not mean you can win. That is because you need a winning condition. And this is the part where the game gets much more complicated, sadly. We will go through this entire double round and slowly work our way through the winning conditions, or yaku, that we see. The good thing is that every winning condition, pogli, increases the value of your hand. In fact, it multiplies the value of your hand by at least 2 in most cases. So, the winning condition that this player has is a triplet of dragons. Every triplet of dragons is a winning condition. If you have a pair of dragons, that is not a winning condition. If you have one of each dragons, that's absolutely nothing. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. Although people will try. A triplet of winds can be a winning condition in 2 circumstances. We are currently in the east round, and our position is south. East round signified by the dealer marker being in the east position. If you flip that over, it will be the south position. So, if anyone currently has a triplet of east winds, it is also a winning condition for them. If they have a triplet of south winds, it will not be a winning condition for them, but it will be for us because we are south. If the dealer, who is both east in the east round, has a triplet of easts, it counts double. Alright, so now let's quickly go through the essentials of point counting. There are... does he get Ura? No, he doesn't. Because he's not in reach, of course. Okay, so this means Yakuhai, which is the triplet of... So only your own wins regardless. And the round wind. If we are in east round... Right. For the east player, only his own win. But in the south round, the dealer will still be east. So in the south round, it's actually the south player who has the doubled Yaku. If he gets a triplet of south. Right. So, there are 2 point categories. There's mini points and there's Han. I should have not mixed those. There is mini points and there's multipliers, also known as Fu and Han. The Fu mostly come from triplets. In here, we have a concealed triplets of so-called honor pieces. The honor pieces are dragons and winds and terminals also increase more value, but for now these are honors. So it's a closed pawn of honors, which is worth 8 Fu. Yes, please continue to ask questions. I'm happy to answer them. You always begin, every hand that is finished begins with 20 Fu. right? So right, that should be it. Okay, so okay, it's exactly 40, isn't it? If someone can confirm in chat that this is exactly 40. So he starts with 20 mini points. He then gets 8 from this triplet. He also gets 10 for winning on a discard with a closed hand. And he gets another 2 for waiting on a pair, which leaves us with exactly 40. Now, if he had 42, that would be rounded up to 50, because you always round up to the nearest tenner. Of course, 40 itself is already a 10, so it remains as 40. And then you look up in this crazy table what 41 means, or you calculate it, whichever you do. This is 2,000 points. And as we remember, this player discarded the 5, so he needs to pay 2,000 points to him, to the dealer. I was wondering why it was so expensive, because it's really only 140, but he's dealer, so he gets double. Also, remember how this person sacrificed 1,000 points here to promise not to change his hand anymore, and thereby also gaining a Yaku. These 1,000 points also go to the winner. So in total, he will receive 3,000 points, and the score total will go up to 28. There we go. He loses 2,000, so it goes from 25 to 23, and he loses the 1,000 which he sacrificed, so he goes from 25 to 24. That means that the dealer remains dealer. If the dealer wins, or more precisely, if the dealer doesn't lose in a draw, he remains dealer. Whenever a dealer remains dealer, the round is not changed. So we are still in the first East round. East 1. To signify that, we will put 100 points piece as a counter. That is just an indicator. That is just to show we are in the first repetition of the first East round. The dealer has thrown the dice, got a 4 here, and now every hand is worth 300 points more. And with every continuation like that, the value of the hand increases by another 300 points. And that can rack up real soon. Alright, let's take a look at our starting hand. I will still ignore this for now, until it becomes relevant. He's the dealer, he has the first discard, he discarded a West Wind. Now, it's fairly common to start by discarding winds and dragons. Well, usually just winds, because you can't neatly put them in sequences like the suit tiles. Let's take a look at our hand. We just picked up this 5. We also have 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, which is fantastic, for reasons I'll go into later. We have a 2 and a 4 in pins, or in circles. We have a 1 and a 9 in bamboo, which is kind of annoying because they're like so far away from each other they don't connect to anything. And then we have 3 winds, 1 east and 2 south, and we have a red dragon. Now, it is unlikely that we will both get a triplet of east winds, a triplet of south winds, and a triplet of red dragons. So it is a good place to start would be over here. Since we are still south, because he is still east, we really want to hang on to that south pair. We don't so much care about the east and the red dragon. Now, my personal philosophy then is to discard the east first, because it is currently less likely that a pair of them exists. And we'll just see what happens with the rest. 1, another west wind, a pin 9, and we picked up a 2. Oh right, I wanted to get into this pattern. Now, Somewhat annoyingly, you can see that this pair of 5s can be seen as a pair of 5, or it can be connected into 5, 6, 7. Same goes for the 8. You can see this as a pair of 8s, or you can connect it to 6, 7, 8. So if you discard either the 5 or the 8, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 will turn into 5, 6, 7 as a sequence, and 8, 8 as a pair, or 5, 5 as a pair, and 6, 7, 8 as a sequence. Of course, this early in the game, short-term memory of a goldfish, sequence of... 1 second, I need to... Correct. Sequence of winds or sequence of dragons is not a thing. It's usually a tornado. Right, so we picked the 2. Not too great, but still, at the very beginning, usually you're trying to collect suit tiles. So you're trying to collect character tiles. Alright, character tiles is what they're usually called. Although that's why they're called cracks. Character tiles, circles, and bamboo. And you try to get rid of the honors, because it's less likely that you can actually combine them. So we'll get rid of the red dragon. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, now, remember how I said that you can also call triplets? Now, he called this triplet of white dragons. That means he called this white dragon as a pawn, as a triplet. That means he has a pair of red dragons, and he completes it to this triplet, right? So he now has a fixed triplet of red dragons, which is good for him, because a triplet of dragons, as we saw last time, is a winning condition. We pick up a 4. Right, that means it's his turn, because he technically picked up a piece, even if that was my piece, and so he discards again, which is pin 1. We pick up a man 4, a character 4, or cracks 4, and so now we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. That's interesting, because now we can combine this 4 and 5 into a sequence, have this 5, 6, 7 here, and this 8, 8 as a pair. So that's good. This 2 and 4 aren't really that helpful yet, but they're not as useless as this 1 and this 9 in bamboo. So we're going to discard the 1 in bamboo. Very interesting. He discards a white dragon, and he calls pawn, which is basically the same that he did with my red dragons. Also note that he turned this piece to my direction. That means that I'm the person who discarded this red dragon. That will be important later. Okay. He declared pawn, so he called a triplet of white dragons. That means that he has 2 white dragons, and my camera has turned itself off. So, this means he has 2 white dragons, and what he also sees is in the dead wall right here. We'll not get into details on why there is a dead wall here just now, but there is one unconcealed tile, one revealed tile in the dead wall, which is also a white dragon. So, he has to call this. He doesn't have to, but it's a complete waste if he doesn't call it right now. Because while there may be 4 pieces in total of every tile, all 4 he knows where they are. 2 are in his hand, 1 is here, and he discarded 1. And he knows that he can't get this one. So he calls this one for without even having to think about it. Whereas this person, when he called my red dragons, he might have let it go and hoped for the second one to pick it up himself. Right? If he picks it up himself, then he doesn't have to open his hand. Whereas now his hand is open and worth less. Okay. Again, we see... Oh, nice. Again, we see he points the one of the white dragons to that side, to the left, from our perspective, from his perspective to the right, to signify that this was discarded by this player. We have picked up another south wind, so now we have a triplet here. That's good. So we could... Let's, in theory, decompose this hand into valuable things. We have a triplet of south winds, which also is a winning condition, so that's great. We have a potential sequence 2, 3, 4 here. We have a pair 8, 8. We have a sequence 5, 6, 7. We have a potential sequence 4-5, and we have a 2 here. The one thing that doesn't fit in it whatsoever is the bamboo 9. Now that is dangerous territory, that's a dangerous path I'm going on right now, but we're going to discard the 9 and see what happens. Ha! My nightmare has become reality. You see, we have picked up another character tile. Isn't that great? Let's quickly reconsider, decompose it into valuable sets again, right? We have this triplet of south winds. We have a triplet of 8s. We have 5, 6, 7. Great! Hey Ashnes, how you doing? We have this 4 and 5, and we have this 2 hanging around here. Now, wouldn't it be cool if we got rid of these 2 pin tiles as well? Because then we would only have one single suit. And that is big cash money. So, remember that discussion about winning conditions. And there's a long list of potential winning conditions that you can have or need to have. And you need to have one of them. But you can have multiple of them. And then it gets more valuable. So, let's be greedy. And let's think of the best case scenario, right? We have this 2, this 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8. And we have this triplets of south winds. Greed always pays, definitely. Assume we do not get those 2. So we get rid of those 2. That means we have a so-called half flush. Also known as Honitsu. Now, a half flush on a closed hand is worth 2 multipliers. So, not even do we start with like a base value of 1,000 points, but 2,000 points. This wind triplet is also worth 1 multiplier. So, it's automatically kind of 4,000 points worth. If the hand remains closed, then a half flush is worth 3 multipliers. So that's a total of 4 multipliers. So the hand can get a value of, say, 8,000 points, which is pretty good. And for reasons that will become important later, maybe, that would be a so-called lower limit hand. So let's be greedy, and let's discard the 2 and the 4. Keeping in mind that the pattern we have here is 2, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8. Now you will see a very annoying part about going into half flushes or even full flushes, where you also discard of all of your honors, is that it is really difficult to see what you can combine with what, because you're combining everything in the same suit. So let's see what happens. Pin 1. Throw it out. Ooh! Ooh, what weight is that? Oh, here we go. It's an absolute nightmare. Okay, so let's discuss this in theory. What we have... Okay. I'm gonna go here and just make this a lot bigger. And then... So, we have here a 2, a 4, a 5. We just picked up a 3. So let's put that in there somewhat. Oops. Another 5. A 6, a 7, and 3 8s. Right? Now, if we discard this 4, the game automatically tells us, because it's an online game, that we will be waiting. So we will be in Tenpai, we will be 1 away from victory. So let's see what can potentially complete our hand. The first obvious choice is a 5. Why? Because if we consider 2, 3, 4 a sequence, 8, 8, 8 a triplet, and 5, 6, 7 a sequence, then we have a singular 5 left, and so picking up another 5 will complete that to a pair. So we have a pair of 5s, a sequence 5, 6, 7, a triplet 8, 8, 8, and a sequence 2, 3, 4. Yes, I assume real in-person Mahjong, a more stoic poker face. Yes, but yes. But the thing is, you don't need to have a poker face if you're gonna declare reach anyway. Because if you're declaring reach, you're making public that you're not gonna change your hand and that you are officially waiting. And a little less discussion of your current hand. Exactly. Now, another way to see how 5 is a possible winning tile is that we have 2, 3, 4, 8, 8, 8, a pair of 2 5s, and then what remains is 6 and 7, which can be extended with a 5 to 5, 6, 7. What we also see is that it can be extended to 6, 7, 8. Right? So we're definitely waiting on a 5 and a 7. Another thing we could do is we could wait for a 2. Now, why could we wait for a 2? Assume we get another 2 right here. Then we have 2, 2 as a pair. 3, 4, 5. Yes! Very good, Dave. 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 7. 8, 8, 8. So indeed, a 2 is also winning tile. So we have at least a 3-sided weight of 2, 5, 8. Let me just quickly check if we're waiting on anything else. 1 does not work because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 does not work. 3 does not work. 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 5, no. 5 works. 6 is 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, no. 6 does not work. 7 is 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 4, 5, 5, 6, no, does not work. And 9, 7, 8, 9, 8, 8, 4, 5, 5, 6 does not work. Right, so maybe it's psychological warfare at the Mahjong table. There is psychological warfare at the Mahjong table. So we have a 3-sided weight for a 2, a 5, and an 8. So, what we're going to do is we're going to call Reach, declare Reachy, and promise not to change our hand. Now, what that essentially means is, fuck you guys, I'm going to pick it myself. Because usually when you declare Reach, not always, but usually, people will start playing safe. And because they don't want to deal into my hand, right? I have signified, hey, I have a strong hand. If you deal into my hand directly, you have to pay all of it. Whereas if I pick it myself, you only get to share the blame. So, if you want to declare Reach, there is a bit of a risk combined with that, because people will try to avoid dealing tiles that are dangerous. And we'll see what tiles are dangerous and what tiles aren't dangerous. But for now, we have a 3-sided weight, which means there's a lot of options still in the wall that we can pick that will complete our hand. Because let's at least count how many tiles are potentially our winning tiles. All the 2s that are in the game, all the 5s that are in the game, and all the 8s in the game. So that's potentially 12 tiles. Sadly, it's not 12, because we have a 2, we have 2 5s, and we have 3 8s. So 6 of those 12 are already out. Let's see, are there any other in the discard? Yes, this 2 is in here. So there's a total of 5 pieces still in the game that will make us win. I'd say that's decent. Let's give it a go. We declare Reach, we sacrifice 1,000 points, and we throw away this 4. Oh! Oh! Oh boy! This is fucking expensive. Okay, so let's see what has happened. We have picked a 5. Now, how convenient is that? That's a winning tile. So we can declare Tsumo, which means we picked the tile ourselves and we have now won. Let us briefly, let us briefly go over how many points that are at least. I can guarantee that we do not need to care about the mini points anymore, because once you reach a lower limit hand, you don't, these become irrelevant. So, we have declared Reach, which is a Yaku, a winning condition, and a multiplier of 1. We have a triplet of South Winds, which is our win, so another multiplier. We have a closed hand of a half flush, or Honitsu, which is 1, 2, 3 multipliers. We have picked up a winning tile on a closed hand, which is Tsumo, which is another multiplier, which is 7, which is 6. Also, in the first round after our Reach declaration, so we won. So if we declare Reach and this or this player discards, or we pick, we get another multiplier. Brings us to 7. So we have at least 7 multipliers in this hand, which makes it at least Hanuman, which is the second lower limit hand, the second limit hand. Now, because we are in Reach, there is one more thing that can happen, because there's one way to get multipliers without getting a winning condition. Usually all winning conditions are multipliers, but there is one multiplier that isn't a winning condition, and that is the so-called Dora, which is short for Doragon, for dragon. It's not actually a dragon, but that's what it's called. You see how there's this white dragon piece here? That is an indicator, the so-called Dora indicator, for a piece that will double the value of your hand with each of these pieces. Now the white dragon indicates the green dragon. So that means if someone wins with a green dragon in their hand, the value of their hand gets doubled. Now we don't have a green dragon, but we declared Reach. And that means the tile below this also becomes a Dora indicator. So let's go dig and find out. Dora. It's really dragging on. Some more. Let's find out what's underneath. Ah, dang it! Okay, that's the bamboo 3, so the bamboo 4 is a Dora. Okay, so let's recollect. We have a South Wind, we have a Reach, we have Ipatsu, meaning we immediately picked self-picked. We did self-picked, Tsumo, and we have Honitsu, which I believe is 7. Yes, Hanuman. Right. So, I mean, it's all clearly here, right? So, Reach, which was this promising not to change your hand anymore. Ipatsu, which is in the first round after Reach. Tsumo, self-draw on a closed hand. Honitsu, only one color. And Yakuhai, which is our own wind. 7 hands, 7 multipliers, and that's called Hanema. That's 3,000 points from the non-dealers and 6,000 points from the dealer. You see, the dealer always gets double, but he also pays double. So he loses 6,000 points, and they both lose 3,000 points. Plus 100. Because he was dealer twice, because of this dealer indicator, and therefore he pays 6,100, and they pay 3,100. Meaning a total of 12,300 points that we gained. So we have 37,300, 20,000, 20,000, 21,000. Fairly even. Well, those three are fairly even. Now, he was the dealer, he lost, or he didn't win, and therefore the dealer moves to the next person, which is me. So, second East round. Let's take a look at this. 6 and 9 and 1 in the characters, not very good. 7 and 9, mediocre in the pins. 2, 3, 4, that's good. 6, 7, 7, that's decent. And then we have an East, South, and West win. Let's be risky. We can't really... Now, a triplet of south or east will be helpful. A triplet of west, not so much. So we'll discard the west. North, bamboo 1, pin 9. We get a 5 for 5-6. That's good. I'm not too... well... Actually, the south... Oh, we are the dealer now. That means we are east, so we are the double east. We don't need the south one. 6 bamboo. So we have 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, 7. And here we have 1, 5, 6, 7, 9. For tactical reasons, I'll discard the 9. Yes. Now we have a 6, so 5, 6, 6. And now I'll discard the 1. Alright, let's see. We have north, white dragon, south, east. He doesn't like the winds. Bamboo 1, pins 8 and 7, west wind. Bamboo 9, green dragon, 8 and 1. And we picked up the 8. Nice. So we have 7, 8, 9. We have 5, 6, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, 7. So we're going to discard the east, even though getting a triplet of those would give us 2 harm. But one of them is already out, so we kind of need to almost pick both of them ourselves. We don't care about that. We'll discard. Ooh, a reach. He is 1 before winning, so he discards. He discards sideways. Oh, I wanted to talk about what safe tiles are. Let's do that right now. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That's great. He sacrifices 1,000 points, and this is basically an indicator of when he declared reach, which is important. Now, a very, very important thing is that you cannot win on a tile that you have discarded yourself. So, that means he cannot win on a north wind. Even if he has the other 2 north winds and is waiting for a triplet, he can only win with that if he picks it himself. He cannot win, he is not allowed to win, if I deal it in, right? So, this tile is safe. Interesting. Now, let's stay on that thread. He has discarded the bamboo 3. That means he also cannot win on a bamboo 3. That, by extension, also kind of makes the 6 a bit safer. In this case, that doesn't apply, but we don't worry about that. It doesn't apply because the door indicator is an 8, and therefore the 9 is super expensive and dangerous, and therefore the 6 is dangerous as well still. This argument makes a lot more sense from the 6. So ignore that for now. Also, it is flashing because we could call it as a pawn, right? Because we have 2 bamboo 6. What we also have is a lot of pairs. We have this pair of 6 here, we have this pair of 6 here, and this pair of 7. We don't want that many pairs. What we do want is safe tiles, because we don't want to deal into this hand. So, what we also want is triples. So if we call it, we make 1 pair into a triplet. But also, if we don't call this, that means he doesn't want it. And here's the other thing. If you are in reach, you cannot win on a tile that you have declined. Right? So assuming you are waiting, let's assume he's waiting on 6 and 9, and he sees the 6, and he doesn't take it, then he cannot wait on the 6 anymore. And what is really mean about this game, he's also not allowed to wait on the 9. But we'll get into that territory later. But what this means for us is if we don't call that, we have 2 safe pieces, right? Because he discards it, he doesn't want it, and therefore I have 2 pieces that he also doesn't want. Now the pin 3 is not safe. It doesn't fit into my hand, but it's not safe. So let's get rid of this pair. This is the Dora. Right? This is Bamboo 9. This is Bamboo 8 as the indicator. Bamboo 9 now doesn't give a winning condition, but it doubles the value of your hand. And he already has a winning condition. And we don't want to feed any more points into that. So we'll hold on to this one for now. There are reasons to believe that this is actually a safe piece, but they're not 100% sound. So we'll discard another 6. Ooh, look at that. He discarded the 6 of characters. We have 2 6 of characters. We could call that, but we could also just keep them and have 2 more safe tiles. Beautiful. No! Fuck! Did I actually click on that button? Okay. That was a misclick. I thought that only happened in chess. Cool. We now have 0 safe tiles. Why did I call it? Did I actually click on that button? Okay, so I accidentally called that. Yes, this is Mahjong, and this is this is the introductory video that I will upload to YouTube. And so let's keep the safe tiles and pawn. Yeah, that was a misclick. I don't know. I'm sorry. That just, well, can't happen in real Mahjong. Oh, we do have a safe tile. Wonderful. This 8. He discarded this 8, so we can discard this 8. Whew. Ah. Woo, woo. Look how this 1-5 was the tile that fit least into our hand, and that was his winning tile. So, he wins by run on this player, and I don't mind that at all. You love playing Mahjong on... Yeah, Mosentius! Welcome in. Oh, you play Mahjong on Final Fantasy 16. Nice. 14. I didn't know that you were playing Mahjong. So I'm doing a brief Mahjong introduction on this channel. We're gonna, from now on, start every stream with 30 minutes of Mahjong. Because I qualified for the World Championship and therefore need to brush up on my Mahjong. Let's analyze his hand. Okay. No. Every stream following now will start with 30 minutes of Mahjong. This stream will have a lot of Mahjong. It won't exclusively have Mahjong, but it will have a lot of Mahjong. Now, let's decompose his hand and see what he has. 2, 3, 4, 4, 6. But with the 5. So 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Shame. And a pair of Bamboo 1. Now. Notice how his hand consists entirely of sequences and a pair. There is a winning condition that is labeled all sequences, but there are several conditions to this winning condition which he does not fulfill. Well, one of which he does not fulfill. And that is to always be waiting on 2 tiles at the same time as a side wait. So what you need to do is something like 4 and 5 and then wait on 3 and 6 on both ends. He, however, has this 4-6 and only waits on the 5 in the middle. That gives him mini points, but it means that it's a hand that is not 0 mini points, which would be the all sequences hand. Wait, you qualify for the World Champ? Yes, I did qualify for the World Championship. I qualified for 2017 and I played 2017. I qualified for 2020, but 2020 was moved to 21 and 21 was moved to 22 and my qualification was frozen or carries over. And I got the confirmation for that yesterday. And that's why starting today we're doing this. Also, hi Kate. Sorry if I missed anyone coming in. I also missed Mosentius. Terribly sorry. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Right. So, what winning condition does he have? Well, reach, of course. Sacrificing these 1,000 points and promising not to change your hand is a winning condition. So, how to get into this championship? Right. So, there are, or there were, tournaments played all across Europe and actually across the whole world, which is how you qualify for both the European Championship and the World Championship. You get ratings through the tournaments, and if you're good enough, every country gets to send delegates to the World Championship. There are, I think, 36 German players, and I was on the first list of the top 3 who qualified. I think I was in position 2. So yeah, and then they're done with the pandemic. Yeah, German delegation from Scotland, exactly. But the condition is to be registered with the German team, and that I am, and I still pay a yearly fee for them. All right, so his multiple. Let's check, because he was in reach. He gets to check if there's something underneath here. 5. That means the 6 of pins would be Adora and multiply the value of his hand. It doesn't. He doesn't. So it's just that one hand. Let's count the food, the mini points. So 1 multiplier. Now, since we have 4 or fewer multipliers, we need to count the mini points. Mini points are achieved from several different things. First of all, triplets. We don't have any triplets. Damn. 20 base points. Every hand has 20 base points. Finishing on a closed hand finishing from someone else on a closed hand is another additional 10 points. So we have 30 points. And remember how I said waiting on one piece is also gives mini points. Gives 2 mini points in this case. He has what's it called? Center weight, middle weight. What are they called? I'm not sure. But that gives 2 more points. And I believe that's it. Anything else? Yeah, the pairs don't give additional points. Yeah. And if you had 7 pairs, that would be something else entirely. But he has 32 points. Now, like I said, it always gets rounded up to the nearest tenner. Almost time for the Sainsbury's update. Yes, tell us the Sainsbury's update when it's there. So he has 40. 32 rounded up to 40. So 1 han, 40 food. This game goes over my head. But just like this next streams, I'm here to meme. Right. No, that's why I'm doing this very long explanation video. Or stream. I will upload this to YouTube, and then and I will give a brief introduction at the beginning of every stream, and I will keep continuing to explain what I'm doing and what is happening. Just this first, as the first stream, I will give a lot of detailed explanation. Okay, so 140. Non-dealer, Ron. Is 1,000 points? 1,300. Fuck. Okay, yeah, 130 would be 1,000. Okay, 1,300. Oh god, I need to practice calculating points again. Yo, hey Beluna. You come at just the right moment. You can just follow along with the explanation. Right. So I will. All jokes aside, we will be explaining how Mahjong works for this stream. Before we move on to speedruns and adventure and puzzles, possibly, and at the beginning of every other of the next streams, half an hour will be on Mahjong, and then the rest will be routine. All right, moving on. We were the dealer. We didn't win. That's the thing. I know how to play the game. I don't know how to calculate points. Oh, I'll help with that. We were dealer. We didn't win. We also didn't lose, but the dealership moves on. So we're now in the 3rd East round. He has the dice. He rolls the dice. So and the dice are on his side. So that means he's the dealer. He is east. So let's count in your heads: east, south, west, north. That means we are explaining Mahjong any percent adventure speedruns. We are in north. Let's check what's happening. Oh, interesting. Right. He is dealer. He gets first discard. Bamboo 4, Bamboo 1, South Wind. The Dora indicator is in Bamboo 8, so going for all concepts. Yeah, 100%. So Bamboo 9 is the Dora. The thing that doubles your hand in value but doesn't give you a winning condition. Now, let's take a look at our hand. We have 2, 2, 4, 7, 9, 4, 4, 8, 9, 5 and 8, a North Wind, and 2 Green Dragons. It's definitely an any percent based run on all the stuff that got... I'm not going to talk about that right now. Yeah, there's so many things, and I'm just gonna mention them. Yeah, it's more any percent, you're right. I'm just gonna mention them when they happen. So, now if I wanted to play this safe, I would keep the North Wind. Also, if I wanted to be greedy, I would keep the North Wind. But I like a more dynamic approach to building your hand by not fixating something like a singular North Wind into our hands. Since we are the North Wind, a triplet of North Winds would give us a Yaku, but we also already have a pair of Green Dragons. So, difficult concept, Skip, exactly. So we'll discard the North Wind. Who cares? We really need more pieces down here. Let me just go through them again. 2, 2, 4, 7, 9 in the characters. 4, 4, 8, 9 in the pins, and 5 and 8 in the bamboos. Pin 1, pin 8, bamboo 1. Bamboo 1, Sparrow, Mahjong. 2, another 2. We pick another 2. So we have 2, 2, 2, 4, 7, 9, 4, 4, 8, 9, 5, 8. Now we can go a bit more into the theory of when you should discard what. Now, obviously, we want to stick Zora's Domain. We want to stick to the pair of dragons. That's like the most important part of our hand card, right? Not only because it's a pair, but also if we get a third one, it's a winning condition. We also have 2, 2, 2, which we most likely will we'll stick to Zora's Domain. Yes. We probably won't discard that as well, or either. Then we have 4, 7, and 9. Now, usually in this situation, you'd be tempted to discard the 4 because 4 is not connected to the 7, but 4 is connected to the 2. The 7 and the 9 are connected, right? So an 8 will put that into a sequence. But 4 and 7 are 3 apart. So that means there is no way to combine those two into a sequence. So the only thing you can do with the 4 is make a pair, or make a sequence down here with the 2, or make a sequence with tiles you don't even have. So the 4 is kind of weak. The 7 is decent together with the 9. We have 4, 4 as a pair, that might increase into something else. 8 and 9 kind of forces us to get a 7. Not necessarily, but a 7 would be really advantageous here. And then we have 5 and 8. Now 5 and 8 are also 3 apart, just like 4 and 7, but the 4 can connect to the 2 and the 7 can connect to the 8. The 5 and the 8 do not connect to anything around them. So there is an easy way and a hard way of doing this. We definitely want to remove one of those two. We could also say, okay, fuck this and just build everything here. But we'll deal with this. Now, reasons to discard the 8. 1. It is difficult to get a triplet of 8s because 1 8 is already here. Therefore, we'd have to have a sequence of with the 8. That means 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. Basic Japanese Mahjong, yes. Here's the client and the rules that it uses in English. For some reason, this 7 at it again. The client is only there in the Japanese version, and in the English version there's no client anymore because it requires Adobe Flash. But the Japanese one doesn't require Adobe Flash. So I don't know. The English one wasn't updated, I guess. So, reasons to discard the 5 would be that the 8 connects to the 9, and if we get the 9, that is a Dora. So that will double the value of our hand. But first we need to get a valuable hand. Also, if we discard the 5... No, if we discard the 8 and then pick up the 9, we need to discard the 9 because we can't do anything. If we instead discard the 5, we keep the 8 and the 9. So I would say we take that risk and discard the 8. And people might disagree with me. Actually, if Michael or Doc, if you disagree or have anything else to contribute to the theory discussion, go for it. Let us know what your thoughts are. I'm going to discard the 8 in this case. Ah! A green dragon. Now, we can call that into a triplet. However, we currently see 3 green dragons, and there's a total of 4 green dragons in the game. So we might pick it up ourselves. Let's be greedy and let this one pass. A red dragon. We don't need that. Aha! We picked up another bamboo 5. That could be useful. But what we also see is that we have 4 pairs, at least. We have this. It's a triplet, but we can also see it as a pair of 2s. 2, 2, 2, 4, 7, 9. We have this pair of pin 4. We have this pair of bamboo 5. And we have this pair of dragons. Now, with 4 pairs, they're exactly Mozentius. Oh, right, Mozentius, same to you. If you have anything to contribute, terribly sorry I forgot that you also play Mahjong. I didn't know before today that you also played Mahjong. That's awesome. We should play together. We are at a crossroads of... Ashes, do you play Mahjong? I am not aware of that. I know that Adrian plays Mahjong. No, okay. And, right, so what I meant is for the... Hence not Ashes. For the Mahjong players who are watching, feel free to contribute to the discussion, and for the non-Mahjong players, feel free to ask as many questions as you have. Also, feel free to ask things twice that have been explained before. I'm happy to continue discussing. Now, there are several, but there is one very special hand that doesn't fall into the pattern of pair 3-3-3, and that is all pairs. Not 100% new to it, but never played. I see. And so if you just have 7 pairs, that is also 14 tiles. Is ace high or low in this game? Depends on your hand. So, actually, it's a valid question. The terminals and honors fall into a different category than the non-terminals and honors. So the pieces 2 to 8 of every suit have different concepts behind them than the 1 and the 9. Same goes for the dragons and the winds. Not true. There is the 1 of every terminal and special tiles. Isn't that what I said? Oh, by high or low you mean like... well, no, that high or low means like, is it valuable or not, right? But you can only connect it at the bottom with 2 and 3 or with pairs and triplets. Alright. So, we're at the crossroads where we might go on a path towards 7 pairs, or we might continue to get triplets. Yes, I know you were making a poker joke, but it's actually relevant. I may have missed you mentioning it then. Depends on what exactly I said. You might have made a valid argument against something I said, and I just forgot what I said. Now, we are in a comfortable position. We're in first place by a margin of at least 15,000 points. So let's not be too risky and discard the pairs. And the pair... Actually, this might be a pair or a sequence. Right? If we pick a 3, no, then it becomes a pair, then it's useless. So let's discard the 4. Because that means we abandon the hope of this becoming a sequence and this turning into another pair. It doesn't really get rid of the pairs, but it also gives us the option to go for the triplets. Ah, 7, 8, 9. Okay, cool. Now we definitely need to... well, we don't have to. Okay, so we found the missing piece in the middle here, 7, 8, 9. So we have 2, 2, 2, 7, 8, 9. We have a pair of 4s, a pair of 5s, and a pair of dragons. Now I really wish I would have caught that other dragon. Alright, let's be greedy. We're gonna risk those, and we're gonna bet on, because it's early game, right? We've only discarded 4 tiles. We're gonna bet on getting another one of these. Let's see. No pin 4 has been discarded or is visible yet. No bamboo 5 has been discarded or is visible yet. And the green dragons, well, one of them has been thrown, but we might call one if, well, we will call one if another one is discarded. Also, we kind of have a trap hidden in our discard pile. Let's say at some point we call the green dragons or we declare reach. Then there's this kind of rule of 3s that says that if you have an 8, then you're probably not waiting for a 5. That is flawed logic, but it's still something that's applied. I don't know if this machine applies it, but we will discard the 9 and the 8. Ah. Actually, just in case, it doesn't make a difference. Let's discard the 8. Ah. So the south is out once, the west is out once, it doesn't matter. Ah! Now that hurts. But it does reduce one of our pairs. Let's discard the west and see what happens with this. Ah, so. Ooh, reach! Sainsbury update! Woo! It's here. Yeah, the 7 pairs and the 13 orphans are the only 2 hands that don't follow the pair and 3 of 3 sets. Yes. There is one of every terminal and special size. Oh, that's what you meant. Yes. You meant Kokshimuso. Yes. Yes. I started the sentence with there is one combination that doesn't adhere to that, and then I corrected that to there are actually several. And now, depending on how you count, you can say, okay, it's the 7 pairs and it's the 13 orphans, but you can also consider shit, what was it called? Honroto? No, not Honroto. What's it called? The magic sequences as breaking that pattern. What's it called? The 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Oh, Ryuiso! Well, no, Ryuiso has to be like that. I don't actually see it here. It's a rare Yakuman, it's not always included. But hey, let's not drift too far into obscurity. Let's see what his reach has to offer. An 8. Aha. Okay, we picked a red dragon. We could continue fighting, or we could play safe. Or we could do something in between and play something that is not super risky. Now the red is not super risky because it's out once, but he could still have the other 2. The best hand I managed to get was 4 concealed triplets. That was an amazing hand. Yes, Suako is very satisfying. And that's an upper limit hand, so that pays, like, I don't know, 32,000 points? Or 48 if you're the dealer. Now, what safe tiles do we have? We have this 8, which is a safe tile. 1149 doesn't really help. No pin tiles. So it is entirely possible that he has like a hand that has a lot of pin tiles because he hasn't discarded a single pin tile. So we'll not throw the pin tiles for now. It is possible that he has like a half flush and is waiting for the red dragon. It is not possible that he has the other... Well, it is possible that he has one more green dragon, is waiting on a pair weight on the other green dragons. So if we destruct our hand, we might throw these. But if we're destructing our hand and basically giving up, we might as well start with the tile that's absolutely safe, which is the 8. Let's do that. We can always pick another one later. Ah, right. We will let that be and just discard all of our 2s. Cool, now we have plenty of safe tiles. Right, he discarded the 2 and the 5, and now this 2 and these 2 5s are all safe tiles. I'm just going to continue playing safe tiles. And then we're going to have a look. Ooh, 3 for 5, 3 for 5, nah. 5. 4. Is there anything directly safe? No. Is there anything indirectly safe? Now, let's see. He declared reach after the 3rd piece in this row. And so that means that every piece discarded after this tile and after this tile is also safe. Because remember, he's in reach. So if he declines this as winning tile, it means it's safe for us. So the 7 is... Oh, we have a 4. 4 is also safe. Oh, there's 2 tiles left. So if we find another safe tile, then we're good to go. Let's check. Oh shit, I don't see anything. Hang on. This 4. So this 4 was discarded, then this 1, and then this reach tile. So this 4 is not safe for indication. Tile in the middle rules say 5 is safe on 2 and 8. 5 is safe on 2 and 8. 4 is safe on 1 and 7. Jesus, he's really not helpful. Still unsure about things. Oh, don't worry. I'm just really trying to find an example of something that's... How about that green dragon? Right. There is a slight chance that he has like a complete hand, except for a pair. He's missing a pair and has a single green dragon here. In that case, he would be waiting for the green dragon. And that is why the green dragon is not 100% safe. But I guess with only 2 pieces remaining, we might risk that. Okay, cool. It was safe. Very nice. Now, this is the first time we have a draw. Something very interesting happens when we have a draw. Everyone who is waiting will get a total of 3,000 points from everyone who is not waiting. And by waiting, I mean ready. One piece away from finishing. Now, everyone who is in reach must obviously be waiting. Must be ready. Let's see who else is waiting. Ah, only him. So one player is in Tenpai, which is him. He has to show that he is waiting. Because he is in reach, he has to prove that. And if anyone else is ready, they have to prove that by opening their hand. If they are not ready like us, we fold our hand, showing, alright, we will pay. So a total of 3,000 points will go from the losers to the winners, meaning 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, and he will get those 3,000 points. Let's take a look at his hand and find out what his weight was. Ah. So, we have a pair of red dragons. That is interesting. We have a 5, 6, 7. We have a 7, 8, 9. And we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, as I mentioned, he hadn't discarded any pin tiles, so the pin tiles might be dangerous. And the pin tiles are on fire, because he has a sequence of 5 in a row. That means, if you want to think about it real quick, let me put that back in here. I can't. do it like properly, but he has a sequence 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He also has his pair, so would someone like to volunteer and figure out what he is waiting for? With 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything but 4. That is not correct. He already has a pair. The the A23 bus to Wrexham, probably. Took a stab in the dark without thinking. Don't worry. Let's talk about that 4, shall we? Let's assume he picks up a 4. Mozentius has got it. It's a 147 weight. If we pick up a 4, this decomposes into 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. If we pick up a 1, this decomposes into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. And if we pick up a 7, this decomposes into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the easiest 3-sided weight you can have by just having 5 connected tiles like this. Right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weights on 1, 4, and 7. Now, of course, this is only a 3-sided weight if you don't have a 1 or a 9, right? So if you have 3 connected tiles like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is only weighting on 3 and 6, because you can't have a 0. No, the white dragon does not count as a 0. Alright, so he was waiting on 1, 4, and 7 of the pin tiles. Alright, the no 10 payment has been made. Too bad the white isn't a 0. Yeah. Now, he didn't win this hand, so he doesn't get his reach counter back. This now goes into a pot. So, there's actually a pot now. Meaning, the next hand is worth 1,000 points more. And we have Ryukyoku, meaning a draw, which means that there is still a counter added. Despite the dealer not even having won anything, a counter is added. Because a counter is added when there is a draw and when the dealer wins. Can you imagine the chaos? I don't even want to think about it. However, the dealer did not win, and therefore the dealer passes on. Now this person, opposite of me, has become the dealer. He has thrown the dice. The dice are here. That means he is the dealer. We are in the 4th East round. East, South, West, North. Rip dealer, he will be missed. Did I say the dealer has been passed on? So we are West. Ooh. Interesting. Now for the 3rd time in the row, the Dora indicator is the bamboo 8. That is funny. But you do add coincidences like that. Let's take a look at our hand. We are West. This is South. We have 4, 5, 7. In Pin, we have 8 and 8. In Bamboo, we have 2 and 5. On the honor side, we have 6 honors. We have East, we have South, South, we have White and White Dragon, and we have Red Dragon. Do you generally play the shorter 2-round version or the full 4-round version? See, I'm not even familiar with that terminology. I know the long 2-round version and the short 1-round version. So, East and South round and simple East round. I have not ever played with anyone who play full East, South, West, and North rounds. Is that something that you can do in the Final Fantasy one? Nevertheless, this will be a Hanchan and not a Tumfusan, so in other words, this will be a full East and full South round, and not only the East round. This platform only supports full south round. Yes, but you can, but no one plays the full 4 rounds. Yes, it is very, very rare to come across that. It's like the closest you can get to that is that some rule sets, when there is a point draw on the last south round, that it then moves on to the west round. And I think this platform actually supports that. But let's not get into that. I don't think I've ever played a full west and north round. Okay, so he discards the south. Do we want to call that? Calling that would kind of mean, okay, we have a triplet. We can get another triplet here from that from that dragon if we get it. We have a pair. It would be risky. There's no need to play risky. Let's not. Ah! Now, looky. We now also have a pair of east, which means we're at the crossroads again of 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs and potentially anything else. We're also at several other crossroads, and for that reason, I'm going to discard this 5. Ah. Now, actually, let's be courageous. Let's call it. A triplet of south winds will not give us a winning condition, but we have 2 potential winning conditions right here. So let's call this. We also need to discard something. And I haven't quite decided on that yet. I'm going to discard the red dragon. Interesting. Also worth going for the ponds. Yes. So that's why there's like many things that can happen here. There is one hand called Toy Toy, which is all triplets. So if we get triplet, and a pair, that's also a hand and a winning condition with 2 multipliers. There is also terminal and honor in each set. So if we have triplet, or pair of these, and then have like 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, that has a 1, 9, or honor in every meld, which is what the sets of 3 are called, and that is also a winning condition. But let's drift away from that. That is so unlikely. The 7 can combine with the 9, the 4 with the 5. That can be a triplet. We'll discard the 2. Not useful. Ah! Now we have a winning condition. We have the east. We could go on with going for all triplets, but since we have such nice patterns down here, let's break up the 7 and 9 and keep the 4 and 5. Why? The 7 and 9 only waits for the 8 in the middle. The 4 and 5 waits for the 3 and the 6 outside. And we want to keep the east, we want to keep the white dragons and the 8s. So let's discard the 9. Ah! Now we're getting something. We call the triplet of white dragons and thereby have 2 winning conditions and 2 multipliers. So we have the east, which is the round wind, and we have the white dragons, which is the seat wind. Now, we could become greedy again and discard those 2 pin tiles, because that would mean we have a half flush again. Now, despite not having many character tiles, we do not have any pin or bamboo tiles after that. But we're not that greedy. We're going to continue on our journey to discard the 7. Now, something magical happens when we discard the 7, and that is that we're waiting. We are intent by, we are ready. Right? If we discard the 7, we have 4 and 5. We have a pair, and we have a triplet. We can't declare reach anymore, because we have opened our hand. But we're waiting nonetheless. We can win on a discarded tile, because we have a winning condition. We have 2 even. And we can still actively choose what to discard and what not to discard. So we'll discard this 5. I would I know have chosen to get rid of the pins? Ah, the half flush would be also nice. Yes, but we already had a super expensive half flush earlier. That's why we have 36,000 points. We don't need to get to go for the super expensive points currently. So we'll just, well, not play it safe, but not go overly risky. We are once again at the crossroads of something that we haven't mentioned yet, and I think this is a great time to mention it. You see, there are two ways of there are two ways of counting something as a triplet, and one would be having one tile 3 times. Another one would be having one tile 4 times. So we can call a so-called kan, and therefore have 4 of that. There are several advantages and disadvantages to that. Number 1, we publicly show, because we call it and we therefore publicly present it, that we have another winning condition. Also, it rids us of the possibility to at some point discard these. If like all 3 players were to go into reach, then we might want to play safe actually and discard those east winds. We're not going to do that. We are going to declare a kan. And another thing that a kan does is it reveals another Dora indicator. Also, if you declare a kan, you are missing 1 tile, right? Because you have picked a tile, but you then have 4 tiles, right? This goes into a melded hand, and then you have 4, 5, 8, 8. So how can you complete that, right? You have to discard something. And that is why whenever a kan is declared, you get an additional tile from the dead wall. So let's declare a kan. Ah, interesting. We picked the pin 2. If we were to win with a tile picked from the dead wall, that would be another winning condition. But let's move on. We don't want that because we want to keep this as a pair. Don't want that. We could now change our weight. You see, we have 4 and 5 and 8, 8. We could discard the 4 and then we'd have 5, 5, 8, 8. The advantage is that will mean if we win, we have the hand that is only triplets. The disadvantage is that there are only 4 outs for us, right? Because we would be waiting on a character 5 and a pin 8, 2 of which each we already have. So there's another 2 character 5s in here and another 2 pin 8s in here. So there's a total of 4 outs in the game left. However, there's a total of 8 outs. Let me just check. Yes, 8 outs if we stick to this weight. Because we can call a 3 or we can call a 6. And there's no 6s and 3s out yet. So, total of 4 plus 4 is 8 outs for this, and a total of only 4 outs for this. So we'll go for the more likely one and discard the 5. Ah! There it is! There's the 6. We will declare on. He discarded the piece we need. We will declare on and win from him. We don't get any additional Doras, so what we have is 2 winning conditions, 2 multipliers, and we get tons of mini points. And we'll go through that in a moment. Right, so we win, he has to pay. How much does he have to pay? Let's count the mini points. First of all, every hand starts with 20 points. We then have triplets of this kan of honors, which is open and therefore worth 16 mini points. So we're already up to 36. We have a triplet of open honors, which is 4 mini points twice. So 20 plus 16 is 36 plus 36 plus 4 is 40 plus 4 is 44. Arithmetic, yes. Nothing else, so we round up to 50. So this hand is a 250 hand. Yes. Slash bad numbers. In this case, it's worth 3,200 points. No, let's not go into how to calculate base points. 3,200 points that he has to pay me. Additionally, there's one counter, so actually 3,500 points. Plus this reach stick that he lost last round. So I gain a total of 4,500 points. He loses 3,500, and this from the pot also goes to me. We are now on 40,800 points. And these two players are on 17 points. Let's see where this goes. We have now moved on with the dealer one full round. So he becomes the first dealer, becomes dealer again. That means we have now entered the south round. That means this indicator has been flipped and is now showing south. He is the dealer, and we are now east-south. We are south in the south round, which means a triplet of south will give us a double hun. Sorry, a double winning condition. So it's a winning condition, and it scores us double. Let's see what our hand is. Aha. Not too shabby. We have 1 and 7. Not really interesting. We have 3 and 4. That's not bad. We have 8 and 7, 8 and 9, and we have 7. We just picked up the 7. So we have 7, 8, 9. That's good. We have 2, 4, 4. That's not bad. We have 8, 8, 8. That's cool. And the Dora indicator is the pin 1, meaning the pin 2 doubles the value of your hand. And we have 3 and 4. That's waiting for 2 and 5. So if we're lucky, we complete this with a 2 and double the value of our hand. Isn't that great? And we've only just started. Now this is a really good starting hand. Let's remain flexible. The east is worth nothing to us. Probably best to get rid of the numbers. Right, but the east is worth nothing to us. And I'd rather keep the flexibility with the numbers and get rid of the east right away. Especially since it's the south round. Ah, north also means nothing to us. If we wanted to play like more defensively, we would keep the east as a safe tile for later, or especially this north, but we'll also get rid of that. Let's see how flexible we can be in this hand. We don't want to open the hand. This is a 3, we could call it for 2, 3, 4, but we're not. Yeah. Now a red dragon would give us something. But since this is we're already 3 discards in, we might as well get rid of that as well. And those two have discarded it as well. Now we have a 6. Now there is one very obvious discard. Mazentius, please don't spoil it. If possible, would anyone else like to guess what the obvious discard is? We have characters 1. We have 6 and 7 in characters. We have the low number, exactly. Do you know what that number is? And we have 3, 4, we have 7, 8, 9, we have 2, 4, 4, and we have 8, 8, 8. It is 1, indeed. Uno, correct. So we discard this one. Very good. Ah, 7. Quick side note to keep in mind, 7 does not connect to 4 because they're 3 apart. Never mind, Herb Derb. If it's just east or east and south, I still would love to do a full 4-round game sometime. I mean, for the lulls, you can do that. Like, especially if you're like playing it in a pub and drinking at night. Like, that doesn't really matter. Nice. No need to collect 2 more cards. Uno. Yes. Very nice. Okay. Now, here's a funky thing about 7888. Let's talk that through, because it's kind of important for later theory. If we have 7888, oh, that's FTL, isn't it? 7888 is a very interesting way of having a 3-sided weight. Remember how like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was a 3-sided weight waiting on 1, 4, and 7. Now, 7888, if we assume that we do not have a pair, is also waiting on 3 pieces. Assume for now that the rest of our hand is finished, is completed, but we don't have a pair yet. What are the 3 tiles? Now for the non-active players in chat, if you would like to make a guess, 6, 7, and 9. Perfect. Right? We can divvy this out. Well, first of all, we can divvy it out like this, and we wait on the 7 for a pair of 7 and a triplet of 8s. Or we can divvy it up like this, and we wait on 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. So we're waiting on 6, 7, and 9. Also interesting is that the 6 or the 9 will not give us mini points, right? Because it's a sequence and a pair. Whereas the 7 will get us mini points because we have a triplet of 8s, which will give us mini points, and we are waiting on a pair, which will also give us mini points. All right? So that's to keep in mind. If we don't have a pair, 7888 is a really neat thing to have. Now, you could argue we do have a pair with 4-4, but we also have a 2, so this might turn into 2-3-4. Let's check. What is the likeliest thing to happen next? We have 4 and 7, which means a 5 or an 8 will complete the sequence. We have 3 and 4, which means a 2 and a 5 will complete the sequence. This is done. 2, 4, 4, which mean a 3 would make this into a sequence, a 4 would make this into a triplet. Everything else isn't that good. So there's still 2 things that can happen here, but it's less likely because we already have 2 of the 4s. If we discard the 2, then we have a pair here. That means we don't technically need this 7888 strategy. However, if we then pick another 4, then we're back in the game. What we definitely don't want to discard is the 3 and 4. Because on the one hand, it has the 2 and the 5, which is 2-sided weight, but this also has that. But this also waits for the 2, which is a Dora. So we don't want to get rid of that. We might consider breaking up this. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to discard the 2 and see what else happens. Automod saw hate speech in that sentence and and said, "I just hate the Chinese." I just hate the Chinese mambos. Always mix them up. Yeah, but I think you can reasonably easy. It's reasonably easy to get into that with a bit of practice. Okay, so we discard the 2 and see what happens. Aha! Pin 1. Pin 1 does not help. While pin 1 does connect with 1, 2, 3 by getting a 2 is also already something with 2, 3, 4. So we discard the 1. Ah, another 3. We already have an abundance of pairs, so we get rid of the 3. Ah, white dragon. Not useful. 9. Not useful. 6, 7 connects with 8. Ah. Oh. Huh. Well, if someone really comes here and says that, then I can still ban them myself. Yeah. That's not good. Alright, we'll get rid of the 9. Ah! Oh. Yasume. So we have achieved the cheaper of the 2 options. Thankfully, there's few people here who would misuse that. Alright, so the game kindly tells us that we are in Tempai. So if we declare, it has legitimate meaning here. You're saying we should add quotes. Please don't. Maybe not. So, let's... I'm just going to ignore what is happening in chat. Let us quickly talk our way through what our hand is and what our hand can and will be. 3, 4, 5, that's fixed. 7, 8, 9, that's fixed. 6 and 7 is probably waiting. is probably what we're going to be waiting. 4-4 is most likely our pair. And then we have this 7-8-8-8. Now, remember that 7-8-8-8 is only a 3-sided weight if we don't have a pair. But given that we have this 4-4 as very much fixed, this will be our pair, which means we won't need a pair here. Which means we will discard the 7, keep this as a triplet, and wait for 5 and 8 here. Quick overview. None of these have been discarded, so we have a total of 8 outs. We declare reach, and we discard the 7. Oh, a cheat. Now, quick word of advice. Remember how, like, if within the first round after your reach, you win, your hand doubles again. Any call of any sort interrupts that. So even if you were to discard now a winning tile for me now, it would not double the value of my hand. It didn't. We picked the white dragon. We cannot rearrange our hand anymore. We promised that by twisting this tile and declaring reach. We're waiting for 5 and 8. 6, 7. We have 6, 7. This is a 4. Ooh, another call. So he didn't just call this. Hopefully 4-4 will turn up in time. 4-4. Sainsbury? That means he's still in the game. He's not going to play safe. So, even though we do not have many active decisions anymore, we can still try to piece together what his hand might become. And I have a quite decent hunch. Because, you see, all he discarded, with 3 exceptions, were terminals and honors. Right? We have wind, 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 wind. Dragon, dragon, dragon. 9, 9, 1. There is a very, very simple winning condition, which is just no terminals and honors. So your entire hand consists only of the tiles 2 to 8, and of course decomposes into a winning pattern. So into like triplets and a pair, or 7 pairs. That also works, right? So he will most likely, and I think it's almost guaranteed at this point because Bamlam Garden. I mean, we can really only discard this. Ooh. Okay, discard the 3. Discard the 7. Discard the 6. Discard the 2. Yeah. That was super risky for several reasons. We couldn't do anything else. We are forced. We are a discard machine the moment we declare reach. Right? So we had to throw that away. It was unsafe if we had still had the choice, it would be unsafe for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a non-terminal or honor, right? It's a tile from 2 to 8, and that is most likely what he's waiting on. Number 2, this is really engaging stuff, by the way. Don't feel you have to limit to 30 minutes a day if you'd rather do this more. I would love to, but not everyone might share that view. We will see how it goes. And but thank you very much for saying that. I really appreciate that. You share that view. That's very nice. But I also don't want to turn this, quote-unquote, back into a Mahjong channel. That's 100 people who had voted. 100% of people who voted. I seconded the second time. Nice. Okay. So, also, during actual games with people, there is time limits. Like, you have 5 seconds to discard something. So, I won't be able to explain that much. Also, there is a possibility that the people who I'm playing with are hearing the stream but not watching the stream. They might be in a voice chat with me, for example, so I won't be able to explain any part of my hand. They won't be watching the stream because then they'd see my hand, which is, of course, problematic. Okay, so there was a ROM. Pin 2. in that case, so might be worth trying to find a way to draw on stream so you. Oh, interesting. I could type things in like a text box to make explanations. That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that idea. Doc, have you ever seen that? That's an interesting suggestion. We're stepping into new territory of Mahjong streaming here. Well, but it does kind of reveal something when... Oh, he's typing! Because you can hear the keyboard clicking. Oh, by the way, Doc, if you're still here, what I wanted to ask last time, but that was just at the moment where Discord crashed yesterday. I'm assuming that your streams with viewers, you're playing with viewers, your friendlies, are honor-based, that they don't watch the stream, but they hear you in like Discord or the chat. Is that correct? And they can still read the chat. Is that accurate? I'm not sure. All right, let's take a look at this guy's hand and see what else, how much we have to pay. Because we dealt into his hand, so now we get to pay. Aha! So, let's start with the multipliers first. As predicted, and as was blatantly obvious at this point, it is the non-terminals and honors hand, which is one multiplier. Secondly, he has two multipliers in there because he has this pin 2 and he has this pin 2, right? This goes into his hand, so he now has a total of 3 multipliers, 3 hand. Let's count the mini points, just in case. We have a concealed triplet of non-terminals and honors, which is worth 4, and that's it. So 20 plus 4 is 24. Oh, and the weight. He was waiting on a single tile, so that's 24 plus 2 is 26, rounded up to 30. So this is a 330 hand. Now, immediately I want to shout Zanke, but of course he is dealer, so it's not Zanke, so I add half of 3,900? No. Yes. Hang on, let me think. I can do this. Which is like 6,000, so like 5,800? Yes! Now, for some reason, 330 is a super common hand, and it's really, really easy to remember the point scoring for this. Because it's got all those 3s in there, right? And so 330 is worth 3,900. But it's a dealer draw, so it's actually, you add 50% on top of that. So if you add 50% of 3,900, you kind of arrive at 5,800. So we pay that, and we are still 3,300 points in front of him. But he was dealer, he won, we are in first repetition. Okay. Ha. Interesting. The bamboo keeps being Dora. Okay, so the Dora indicators the bamboo 7, so the bamboo 8, which is in our hand, nice, is a Dora. We have here 6, 7, 8, 9. That's nice for several reasons. I'll get into that in a moment. We have pin 1, 6, 8. We have 3, 4, and 8, 9. We have 2 east winds, which actually is quite an advantage, depending on what you want to do. And we have a south wind. Now, we are the double south, but it doesn't really help us for now. We might hold on to it for a moment. Now, let me discuss what 6, 7, 8, 9 means. Remember how a sequence of 5, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is a 3-sided weight if you don't have a pair, if you already have a pair, right, on 1, 4, and 7. Now, if you have 4 in a row, that is a 2-sided weight if you don't have a pair. For the same reason that 3 and 4 is a 2-sided weight if you have a pair. Because this is weighting, I'm assuming you all see this on 2 and 5. Maybe it is obvious, maybe it's not. So if you get a 2, that's 2, 2 as the pair, and 3, 4, 5 and if you get a 5, that's 2, 3, 4 as the sequence, and 5, 5 as the sequence. So that's why that's kind of good. But it's also very, very early in the game, so we don't need to talk about weighting patterns just now, but it's good to know that we have 4 in sequence. He discarded the 1. I'm willing to keep this pair of east winds, just in case. Because this might still be painful. the hand without points. And this pair has no points for us. We will discard the 1 pin. Because it doesn't connect to anything, and if we get another south, that is worth a lot. So let's discard the pin 1. We don't want to open our hand. This is a 2, we have 3 and 4. We could call that into a sequence. We don't want to do that. 3. 3 is 3 away from 6, so 3 and 6 do not connect, so we throw it. We do not... The reason we have the east is not because we want to extend it into a triplet. We are in the south round, we are south. East is without value to us. See, now we picked the 6 that was like our potential pair weight. That doesn't mean that this doesn't... that doesn't mean that this has to be our pair. There's still lots of flexibility in this hand, but I think at this point we need to say goodbye to the dream of a triplet of south winds. So we'll discard the south. Aha! A 4. Now, 4 connects with 6 to 4, 5, 6. That is weak. But we see that there is more flexibility on this side of the hand. For example, if we throw the 9, we have 6, 7, 8, and then 4, 6. For the same reason, if we throw the 6, we have 4 and 6, and 7, 8, 9. There is still many things that can happen here. For example, let's not go into it, but there is flexibility, some flexibility on this side of the hand. There is little flexibility in this 6 and 8. We have a lot of flexibility here with 3 and 4, because that is a 2-sided weight. We have little flexibility here. We have 8 and 9, so we need a 7, and we know that 1 7 is out already. But there's this magic 8 in here, so we kind of want to keep that. We don't want to... Yeah, there's an extra incentive there too. So what I would do is get rid of this 6 and 8. Now, more flexibility than I should say. Now, there is one more thing, and that is that the center is more flexible than the edges. Which means, if you play around the area of 4, 5, 6, then there's a lot you can build to either sides. If you play around the area of 7, 8, 9, you can really only extend that downwards. And that is why we're discarding the 8 before we're discarding the 6. Other than that, they would be of fairly equal flexibility. However, a second argument is that an 8 and a 9 is already out. But that's a very, very weak point. White Dragon. Triplet called here because 7, 8, 9. Instantly a Yaku. North. We are south. We don't really care about safe tiles for now. We have a very good option for safe tiles here. Right? 1 east is out. We have a decent pair to fall back on. So we discard the north. The only other thing that north would be good for would be as a safe tile. Aha! Here we have the 7. Good thing we didn't throw that away. We now have 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, and this is the point where Gemma would shout at me, how dare I forget the possibility of Sanshoku. Sanshoku means 3 colors. There is a winning condition that has the same sequence in all 3 colors, or the same triplet in all 3 colors. Sanshoku do Jun and Sanshoku do Ko. Now we have 7, 8, 9 here and 7, 8, 9 here, so we might have considered holding on to that 8 for a 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. But even if I had thought of that at that point,
I would still have been 3 tiles away from that, and not even guaranteed that we get this one. So I still think it's the right decision, but Gemma Sakamoto, for example, would put extra emphasis on Sanchaku. Last but not least, because you can play it open. So you can open your hand with that. Now, also, she is like one of the strongest European players. I'm not entirely sure how much she has played in Japanese leagues. She is the head of organization of the World Championship, so she is very high regarded in the entire community for several reasons. Alright, let's go with the 6. Right, this 6 is now completely isolated, everything else has lots of flexibility. Aha, another Northwind. This White Dragon is the safest piece in the game because those 3 are right here. Ah! Except if someone were to go for the 13 orphans, but we're not talking about the orphans for now. We do not want to call that. We do not want to call that. We do not want to call that. Now, if we were to call this 5, we would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, east, east, and then we'd probably discard the 6 or the 9 and have a weight on 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5. However, we're not talking about the orphans. The big problem, what we wouldn't have, is a winning condition. The problem is, and that is what beginners get wrong most often. What they get most often, secondly, is Furiten. But the winning condition, you cannot skip on. If you don't have a winning condition, no matter how many Doras you have in your hand, no matter how beautiful your hand looks, if you don't have one of the 30 things on this list, you cannot win. Without a winning condition, it's a dead hand. Now, dead hand is reserved for something else. Dead hand is reserved for like when you make a mistake and are not allowed to win anymore. Now, when all lines break, winning on the last tile in the game is still a winning condition. But that is incredibly rare. Also, if you, just in case, let's get rid of that right away. If you are a fan of animes, there are 3 standard animes you could or should watch with increasing degree of ridiculousness. That would be Akagi, which is highly strategy and drama based. There is Saki, which is schoolgirl based with people with superpowers. And there is I forgot what the Japanese name is. I think there might be more out at this point. Do I have it in here? Like I bought this. I thought it was on the cover, but it isn't. What is it called? Revolution with no wasted draws. What is it called? Hang on, let me just look that up. Revolution with no wasted draws. Is that it? Mudazumo. Yeah, Mudazumo Nakikaiku. Now, people having special abilities might seem ridiculous. This is one step further, and yes, that is Hitler. The concept of Mudazumo is that all political decisions worldwide are being done at the Mahjong table. Now, there's only 3 episodes that have been filmed for Mudazumo, but the manga goes like into insane depths, and I believe there is a scene where Bishop Ratzinger or the Pope Ratzinger is fighting Hitler on the moon for the Third Reich, and things like that. Seems marginally better way to resolve things than the way we usually see them. I mean, yeah, maybe. Now, why did I mention that? I wanted to make a point. Right. Right. In Saki, the medium crazy one, Mahjong better, right? In the medium crazy one, there's one player who has this as a special ability. If she is in the position to self-pick the final time, she will always pick it as a winning tile. And that is indicated by the water level in the room rising, which goes back. All right, right. Story time. There is an etymology to this, to those winning hands of winning on the last piece, either as a discard or as a self-pick, and that is shit. Scooping the moon from the seabed and scooping the moon from the lake or something. And that's what like these yakus translate to. I have to look up. No, that's in Chankayo. Haite, yeah, Haite Rao Yue and Hote Rao Yui. Those are those. And because she can always scoop the moon out of the river, the water rises and she gets the final draw. Okay. Anyway, right. But we do not wish to open our hands. So the first thing people do is just cheat, call everything, and then they can't win because they don't have a winning condition. So we are not going to open our hands. Red Dragon, we don't need. 9, no. Hatsu, or Green Dragon, we don't want to. Okay, he discarded the 4. He declared drawn. Closed hand. Secret silence. Ooh, Yasume. Okay, so this is neat. This is neat. Let me show you what he has. Yo, hey Kim. We are in the middle of a Mahjong explanation. So let's see what he has. I'm gonna write it upside down here. So he has 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, he also has 2, 2 here as a pair and 5, 6, 7. Would anyone like to guess what his weight is? We already know that he picked the 4, so 4 is one of his weights. 89 89 kilograms. 3 hours, that doesn't sound great. 6 to 8 weeks. What his weight is. Any suggestions? Any guesses? I mean, we have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Could he be waiting on something else than the 4? Or the 1, indeed. He is indeed also trust me. He is indeed also waiting on the 1. But there's an easy way to see what else he is waiting on by just putting a couple spaces in here and saying if 7, 8, 9 is fixed. Oh right, Kim, you were there at the end of the stream last time. So I am qualified for the World Championship. That has been confirmed. And so we will start every regular stream with a half-hour Mahjong session. And so I will upload this to YouTube. And this is like a full explanation on everything. And today we're gonna do a very long explanation. So, yes, indeed, Mazenshis is correct. Because I separated this out, this is now 5 connected tiles. So, let's switch those around, and we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as we know, that waits for 1, 4, and 7. So, the reason that's important is twofold. Number 1, it's a 3-sided weight, which is super nice, and he discarded the 4 and has therefore dealt into that. Another reason that's nice is that it's waiting for the 1. And if he got the 1, wouldn't that be nice if he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Oh, you saw my tweet earlier. Nice. Upload misbehaving from chat included, or what? Who's misbehaving? It's important twofold. Thanks for the Poketips. Commit Sudoku. Indeed. So that sequence 1 to 9 is also another winning condition. And it's double if the hand is closed. Sadly, he didn't get the 1, he got the 4. Which is the cheaper the cheaper side, so the Yasu me. The more expensive side would have been the Taka me, the expensive side. So what he really has is a closed hand that only has sequences and no other mini points. So he has the rare Pinfu hand. Now, depending on varying rule sets, that might either be worth 30 points or... No, hang on, that is always 30 points, right? Closed hand Ron is 30. And he has one multiplier here, so it's 230. Yes. He has the Pinfu, the hand without points, which is also another reading of this is Hewa, which is peace. And this is what is on the scroll in Damien's room in Dreamfall: The Longest Journey. So, but that's kind of a coincidence, right? The reason he has that scroll there is not because of Mahjong, but because of peace. I think. Let me just check that that's not garbage that I'm spouting. Hey, yes. Frieden, Ruhestelle. Hewa, peace. Also Pinfu, a Mahjong hand. Okay, we are moving on. Oh, right, and plus, no. Was there a continuance in dealership? There's a counter here. Yes, I guess so. So, I forgot, what was it? 2,000 points, so 2,300 because of continuation counter. The dealer did not win, therefore the dealership goes to me. Let's scroll up. The dealer won last round, yeah. He won off of me, didn't he? Bastard. Okay, second South round. And after the fourth South round, we'll do everything else that we meant to do on this stream. We don't have much time for puzzle, speedruns, and adventure. We'll see where we are when this round is finished. Okay. Right, now we are dealer in the south round, so we are east because we are dealer, and it's the south round, so south and east are valuable to us. We have this pair of west winds. We have one east wind. We have 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 8. That's nice. We have 1 and 9. That sucks. We have another 1, and this is where it gets dangerous. But I think, yeah, with 5, there's nothing to do. We have 6 and 8, which is neat. This 4 indicates the 5. Doesn't really matter for now. So, what to do? What to do? We can keep this as a pair. We are east. We are the dealer. We could keep this for 1 round. I usually don't. There's no real reason to go for anything extravagant. And I generally go for flexibility rather than price. So I will discard the east, even if I will pick it again now. Okay, he discarded an east as well, so now I'm happy. Okay, we have 3 pairs. Pair of 8s, a pair of 6s, and a pair of west winds. 3 is still okay. So let's move on and discard things we don't like. We like this west wind. It doesn't do anything, but it's a pair. We like this 6-6, 6-6, and together with this 8 we can mix 6-7-8. We don't like this bamboo 1. We don't like this 1 or this 9. And everything here is fine. Alright, we have 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8, 8. We do like this 8, 8. We like this 4, 5, 6. And together with the 2, we might turn this into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a 3-sided weight. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so we need to discard either this 1, this 9, or this 1. Let me think. Now, it is generally somewhat unadvisable to get rid of an entire color if you don't intend to get rid of both entire colors. I still do it a lot, but it's so early in the game, I don't want to force myself to get rid of this color, or this suit. Oh wow, have we reached the end of that track? Actually, let me check something. I might have Mahjong music. Oh wow. Oh, that was... Well, that's fine. Nope. Cancel. Shut up. Is it on here? Ah, there it is. Okay. Let me put that here. That's the soundtrack from Janryumon, which was a popular, which is a Mahjong client, which was a popular Mahjong client. It's not popular anymore since it's pay to play. All right. We are in Second South, so let's start the music for Second South. Actually, let's... Does this still crash, or is this fine? Okay. Does it loop? Oh, that's something I can check. Here, yeah, it does loop. Okay, cool. So now we have the music from the Mahjong game I used to play at university. Okay. So, we have decided on discarding this one. Ah! Aha! Aha! 4 pairs. We're at the crossroads again. 8-8, 1-1, 6-6, west-west. But whichever way we go... Oh, also... Let me check that back out. And put my light back on. Chill Oriental beats to study or pond to. Whichever way we choose, we still don't want the 9, so we get rid of the 9. Westwind, we do not call that 3. Ah, now we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 3-sided weight I announced earlier. And that really means we kind of don't want to go into the area of only pairs, and we also don't want to go into the area of only triplets. So let's discard this 6, because it also combines to 6, 7, 8. Aha! 4. 4, 6, 8 weights on either a 5 or a 7, and we can discard the other. So we'll keep the 4, 6, 8, and we'll start breaking up pairs. This is pain, but this is what we're here for. We need to feel the pain to break up the pairs. If that didn't make any sense, don't worry. If you've ever played this game, you know how much pain it is to break up a pair. I'll go with the West Winds. Now, in theory, we should follow up with the West Wind. Yeah. The juice gets everywhere. 9. Uh-huh. 8, 8, 9. We can see where this is... We can take a look where this is going. In that case, the 1s become a pair, which is good. And we could get rid of another pair here. Also, we could get the elusive straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's discard the green dragon. Aha! The 5. The problem is that he already discarded 2 of the 5s, meaning if we don't take this, there's only one more 5 in there. But we can also wait for a 7, so we're not going to take that. Ah, a 9. The 9 does nothing. Absolutely fuck all. The only way a 9 helps if we get a 7 and a 5, because then we have 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. Generally, the combination 6, 8, 9 always means discard the 9. Yeah, not always, but like, because the 7 already fills this, right? So we discard the 9. Aha! Another pair. We don't want pairs. Ah! A triplet! Now, this is good. Oh, this is very good. Now we are in business. Okay, several things have happened. We have a definite strategy for the end, which is we will now discard the 9. This is no longer a pair, it's a triplet, so the 8s become a pair. We have this wonderful, beautiful 3-sided weight, and we have a trap. Now, 4, 6, 8, spaced out like this, so any 3 tiles with 1 space in between is a trap. For the following reason. If we discard the 4, the rule of 3s says that 1 and 7, which are 3 away in either direction, are kind of really safe. Right? Because if you wait on a 4 and a 2-sided weight, you need to wait on a 7 or a 1. On the other way, if you have a 2-sided weight on a 7, you have to wait on a 4. If you have a 2-sided weight on a 1, you have to wait on a 4. So if you throw away the 4, that kind of indicates that the 1 and the 7 is safe, unless it's like this, which is rare, but we have it here. So we have our path to the next position, and we have a trap ready if we get one of these. If we get one of these, then we can declare reach on the 3-sided weight. If we get one of these, we can declare reach on the trap. Win-win. Well, if we ever get there. Let's discard the 9. 5, we don't care. Even though it's the Dora. 2. 2 does nothing for us. It looks like it does something, but it really doesn't. We already have a pair, so the 2-2 pair doesn't do much, other than separating this out into 3, 4, 5, 6, which is also pair weight, which means we once again have 3 pairs. No, we don't want that. Away with the 2. 4, we don't want. Ah, no. Ah, the 9 again. Ah, no. Ah, no. Interesting. The 3 kind of requires me to get the 5 or the 2. I don't like that. I'm going to discard the 3. Aha. So. There's still all 7s out there, but there's only 5 pieces left. So. 2 options. 3 options. 2 options. Really 2 options. Option 1. We declare reach, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 8, 1, 1, 1. And here we discard the 4, not the 8. We discard the 4. And wait on the 7 in the middle. If we discarded the 8, we'd have to wait on the 5, and 3 of those are already out. Unlikely that we get that. So the option is to declare reach and discard the 4. However, there's only 5 pieces left in the wall, so it's unlikely that we will win. And, I mean, everyone else will fold, probably, because they want to play safe, because they don't want to deal into a dealer's hand who declares reach 5 tiles before end. However, what happens if we don't declare reach? If we don't declare reach, we do not have a winning condition, other than sumo, or or winning on the last tile. However, we still have a complete hand, and we are dealer, and we remain in our dealership because we are in tempo. So let's do that. Let's not declare reach, which is like, and that is something that beginners will always, they see the reach button, they click the reach button. But actually, in many cases, it is useful to at least think
if there is... I love buttons though. Don't worry. Like in 97% of the time, the reach button is the right... it is correct to click the reach button. But this is one of the situations where I'd say pass. So, what we will still do is discard the 4. Because 60% of the time works every time. The 4 or the 8 will make our hand ready. But the 4 waits on the 7, which is still out 4 times, so we can self-pick it. And it still lays the trap on the 7. We cannot declare a run on it because we don't have... so we cannot call it from anyone else because we can't... we don't have a winning condition. So laying a trap like that only makes sense if you can call it from someone else. Unless it's the final tile. And he gets to pick the final tile. So he gets to have the last discard. And if that happens to be a bamboo 7 because of this bamboo 4 trap... Now, an AI won't do that. But then it was worth it. So we'll discard this 4. This is a flowing river, and this is the round. So the round flows the river, it repeats. But let's find out who was in Tenpai and who wasn't in Tenpai. I was the only one in Tenpai. Isn't that great? Yes, because they all need to pay me 1,000 points. I get 3,000 points. And, oh, that's the last thing I wanted to mention. Because we didn't declare reach, we didn't lose the reach count, the reach indicator, right? You sacrifice the 1,000 points for something that is unlikely going to happen. So therefore, just save it up and cash in on this sweet, sweet Notem money. Okay. We are still in second south, first repetition. Ooh. Now, let's quick point check. We're on 37,000, 14 and 1829. Okay. We are dealer with 1 continuation. Now, there are... I have no idea what's happening, but I love the enthusiasm. Yeah. I'm really giddy and excited for getting back into this. And I love explaining this stuff. So, we have 1 character tile. 6 of characters. We have 4 pin tiles. We are still in South too. Okay, so the music is still appropriate. We have 1, 3, 3, 8. It's stylish Lego bricks. 1, 3, 3, 8 in pin. Well, it's not too bad. This could be 1, 2, 3. This could be a pair, a triplet. The 8 is But then look at the bamboo section. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. 9. And the 6 is the Dora indicator, so this 7 is a Dora. So we have a very, very strong bamboo side and a very weak non-bamboo side. Now, let's be greedy. Let's be greedy and go for the Honitsu again, the half flush, meaning only honors and 1 color. We don't have to fix on that, but for now, let's discard the 6 and see where we end up. They discard wins, which is totally reasonable. We missed out on this 8. Who cares? Now, this is going to be a kind of an uphill struggle, because it is more likely that we will get a pin or a character tile than that we get a bamboo or an honor tile. And, in fact, I think we've already kind of found the dead end, because we now have a combination 1, 2, 3 or 1, 3 or 3, 3. We have the 8 that combines with the 9, and we also kind of have a really good combination here with 1, 2, 3, 9, 9. So it doesn't have to be a half flush. Alright, so we are flexible. We can get rid of the half flush idea and just discard the east. Another reason to discard the east is that 2 east winds are already out. So the best thing this can be is a pair. And we already have 3 pairs. We don't want any more pairs. Let's discard the east. The 9, the elusive 9. 6, 8, 9. We can't do anything with that. But you can dream.
Right, so this is a 9. We could call this into a pawn, but then we have no chance of ever getting a winning condition, so we won't do that. Now, here's the price we paid by making that decision at the very beginning. Unless we pick something very close to the middle, we will discard every character tile that we pick. And that is going to be a little less than a third of every tile that we pick. So we already know that about a third of every tile that we pick is going to be worthless to us. And that's a shame. No. 1, 3, 3, 4. Can become 1 to 3, 3, 4 with 2 and 5. So that's good. Now what? As you might have noticed, we have a lot of pairs. However, this 9 pair is rather fixed, whereas this 6, 6, 7 is not that fixed, right? 6, 7 can become 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8 if we discard the 6. This 3, 3 can become 1 to 3 and 3, 4, so we discard the 6. Red Dragon. That's another 7. For the same reason we discarded the 6, we now should discard the 7 if it wasn't the Dora. You know, every of these bamboo 7s will double the value of my hand, but I have to get a valid hand, right? So let's do the reasonable decision and discard the Dora. No, we don't want to call that 4. No. Is there anything we can do with this 4? No, I don't see anything. We could shuffle the 1 out and the 4 in, but I don't really see a reason. Now, it is getting rather difficult. We are... Alright, let's count the so-called shantens. Let's count how far away we are from a fixed hand, from a finished hand. We would need... So how many things do we need to discard and pick to get a complete hand? We need to pick the 2, pick the 5, pick the 7, and discard the 4, 6, and 7. So we are San Shanten. We are 3 pieces away from a complete hand, and we are 2/3 into the game, right? Usually it ends when you have vaguely 18 pieces here, and we are already 2/3 into the game. So we might not win this one, and we might not even get into a winning position, into a complete hand. So we might start thinking about racking up save tiles. But no one is in reach, right? Let's look at what these people are doing. What are these fools doing? He is discarding terminals and honors, so he's going for Pinfu. For Tanyao, for no terminals and honors. Let's take a look at him. Could be anything. Probably Yakuhai. Let's look at him. A lot of terminals and honors, so probably also Tanyao, the hand that's only 2 to 8. But we already have plenty of save tiles for that. We have 1, 9, 1, 9, 9. We're good. We don't need another South one. Or Red Dragon. Or among 3. Yeah, we're oh, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we got somewhere. At this point, we will discard the 1 and the 3, because we don't want to discard the Dora at any point. I should have discarded the 3 first, but that doesn't matter. Okay, 1, yeah, sure. Aha. Now, there's one more tile to be picked. And there is no way... Hang on. If we discard this piece, he calls it discards, he calls it discards, then we get to pick one more time. But whatever happens... Well, we could get into tempo with that, but I'm gonna play it safe. Now, he has discarded very few pin tiles, so I'm not gonna discard a pin tile. I'm gonna discard an honor, or terminal. I'm gonna discard a terminal, and I'm gonna look for something that is safest. I think the safest option is the bamboo 1. It is here, here, and here. It is the 4th one. He has discarded a 2, and so the only way for him to be waiting on this one is not even as a pair wait, because 3 of them are out, but as 1, 2, 3. Since... right. That is indeed a possibility. That is indeed possible. That could happen. But I don't think it is. Don't think it does, because he discarded the 2 here. Okay, cool. Ryukyo. Another repetition. So we are no 10. So the dealership gets passed on. Let's see who else is in Tenpai. He is in Tenpai. He has the Yakuhai. The 3 dragons. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 3, 3, 5, 6. So he was waiting on pin 4 and pin 7. We didn't have any of those, maybe. 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. That's a pair weight. A really risky pair weight. A disgusting pair weight on 2 and 3. So, let me just unravel this. Let's call those 2 PP for pair, and this 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Okay, so we have... Oops. We have 1 pair, and then we have 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Now, one way to turn this into a pair is by turning this into a sequence of triplets and then combining this to 2, 3, 4. Another way is to get a third of this one, and then having this be a triplet, and then having 2, 3, 4 here, and this be the pair. So he was waiting on that pair piece and on this 3. The disgusting thing about that is that it's not going to happen. Or it's very, very unlikely, because the tiles he's waiting for are the tiles in his own hand. Right? He's waiting for 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. So out of the possible 8 outs, 5 are in his hand. So there's 3 that are not in his hand. One of them is right here. Let's see. One was in our hand, and another pin 2 somewhere. So yeah, tough luck. But he persevered. He has a complete hand, which means the 2 of us pay 3,000 points to the 2 of them. And that adds up, so 1,500 each. We have a draw. The dealership moves on because I did not win. With 2 counters, he becomes the dealer. Jeez, it's half past. Okay. Third south. Let's put on the music for third south. Oh, that's Oras. There, so third south. Okay, let's try to be a bit faster. Right, 2 counters in the middle. 600 extra points. He is dealer east, south, west, north. We are north, in the south. I've heard this music so. Okay, we have 2, 7, 7, 9, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, nice. 4, 6, east, north. We are north. We don't care about east. East has been discarded once. We also have a 1 and a west wind here. The Dora indicator is the 7, so the Dora is the bamboo 8, so we discard the east wind. 4. So 2, 4, 7, 7, 9. I don't have any intentions on collecting the north, so we'll continue with the north. I'd rather go for the flexibility. Same goes for the west, and there is another... pain. The pain, the pain, the pain. We once again have 3 pairs, and if we didn't have these 2 9s, we wouldn't have any terminals and honors, and that's a winning hand. So, with 3 pairs means we need to get rid of 1 pair at some point, so let's get rid of the 9s right now, and kind of force ourselves into Tanyao, the hand that only consists of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So no 1s, no 9s, no... Oh, should we rush this? This reminds me of a joke. Sorry. So should we rush this into a cheap and dirty hand? I say yes. And the reason for that is the 2 counters here. It will be a cheap hand, it will be a dirty hand, because there's no real value in it, and the only point it has is like to have a little bit of payment and to advance the round. We are in first place. We want this game to be over, right? We don't want to be overtaken by this guy. Also, when there's like many counters and many reach sticks in the pot, it is a luxurious risk to go for it and make a cheap and dirty hand because you get all the stuff in the pot. And that is why when there's a lot in the pot, and that's happened like when we were in Vegas and I was playing with 3 people, and this Ukrainian player, she's watching us play, and like when she sees the pot after after the redeal, and she says, "What time is it? It's Tanya Nomi time." So meaning like, all right, it's time for everyone to go for the cheapest possible hand to just get that sweet pot in the middle. I mean, this is only 600 points, right? But the hand is going to be worth 1,000 points, so it's like a 60% increase in value. So who can say no to that? Certainly not me. We take it. We discard the 9. Ah, more pairs. But the thing is, we can now call whatever the frick we want, so we don't really mind this much. While, here's the thing. So we have 4, 6, 6. So we could call a 5, but remember, sequences can only be called from the left. Call back to 2 hours earlier. Sequences can only be called from the left, whereas triplets can be called from everywhere. So, we're going to discard the 4. Hang on. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Actually, we're going to keep that. We're going to discard the 3. Ah! See, now it gets interesting. No one said that was going to be a test. Yes, keep making notes. Exam in half an hour. Right. So, we are all set. We discard the 4. We have a triplets of 6. We have a pair here and a pair here. Now, that's not a good wait, because we wait for this 7 and for this 8. But it's cheap, it's dirty, we agreed on that, we'll take it. Ah, interesting. Now, here's the great thing about not being in reach. We can change our weight. So if we fixate this 8-8 as a pair, we have a 6 and 7-7. If we discard the 7 and then we have 6-7, then we would be waiting on 5 and 8. And all of these are still out there. Now, if we win on a tile, even if it's a sequence, we can call it from everywhere. Only if we call a sequence to build into a hand, we have to call it from the left. So, we have to make sure of one more thing, and that is something we mentioned earlier, that we are not in Furiten. We cannot win on a tile that we have discarded before, and we cannot win on a tile that someone else, on a tile that we have rejected. Right? So, we have not discarded a character 5 or 8, because these are 9s. And it's our turn. So we're good. We discard the 7 and we wait on 5 and 8. Ooh, this is nice. He's declaring a concealed can, which means there will be one more door indicator. Ah, okay, it's the other way around. Okay. Ah, that sucks. That sucks balls. Now, if you'd like, figure out why that is, like, the worst possible thing that could happen. While I take a sip of Rabina that I poured in 3 hours ago. Because the lecturer said so. Exactly. Is this going to be on the test? Okay. So, this is a concealed quadruplet of character 8. The problem is we are waiting for 5 and 8, and he has just taken 4 of our outs out of the game. Now, usually you can rob a card, but not in this situation, because A, it is concealed, and 2, we're not waiting on the 13 offense. So, we have to keep going. Is there anything we can do with shuffling around? No. We just have to wait for the 5 now. Ooh, he goes reach. More money in the pot, I guess. And okay, the West is safe. Ooh, shit! Oh, it's showdown time! Most likely, every player on the table is waiting. We know we are waiting. Those two people are waiting because they're both in reach. And he declared a concealed gun, so he might be waiting or at least ready to declare reach. Let's see what happens. Right. The red dragon is safe. Because 3 of them are out and there's no way... That's not 13 orphans, is it? Anything that saves me from 13 orphans. The West wins. Okay, so he can't have 13 orphans. So that's safe. Ah, no. Huh. Alright. Let's see how risky this tile is. It is quite risky on the left. It is very risky on the right. It is quite risky on the opposing side. This tile is not safe whatsoever. Do we have a tile that is safe? Five is safe on him, 7 is safe on both of them, but not on him. Well, it is actually probably safe on him. We could give up, because I really don't want to deal into either of these people's hands. Ah, we have an owl. God, back in the day, when I was streaming Mahjong on Dark Shocks, whenever this happened, I would replace my screen with a picture of an owl, because they kind of look like the 2 eyes of an owl. Oh no! Look at this! Oh, we got the 5! That is pain. That is pain. If we had... Well, we still don't know what these guys are waiting for. But the 7 is now safe. Okay, so he picked it himself. Ooh. 6. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the 6 was his weight. That's fine. He was the dealer. He will continue his dealership. Oh God, we're not gonna make it to any other games today, are we? All right, let's analyze what went wrong here. 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 1. Yikes! Okay, this is expensive. We will probably not lose first place, but everything will even out a lot. So, he declared reach. He picked it himself. That's 2 multipliers. He has 1 Dora here, another Dora here, and another Dora here. He has 3 Doras. What else? He has no terminals and honors, so he has Tanya, which is 6. 5, 6, 7, is it? It's not Pinfu, so it is 6. It is Hanuman, which is 3,000, 6,000, but his dealers are 6,000 each, so he gets 18,000. 18,600 plus these 2,000, so 20,600, which brings him up to 35,500. Wow, is it the draw? Oh no, because I lose points. Fuck. Ah, yeah, but 35,500. Yeah. Okay. Adora his commitment to them. Yeah, that was an expensive hand. That was Hanuman. The same value of the hand that we had earlier. Alright, third continuation. We are, and now this is the point where the differences come in handy. Or are necessary. We are about 6,000 points away from him. So we need to put that into consideration when we're building our hand, that we need 6,000 points. That could be 6,000 points from someone else. It could also be 3,000 points from him. because that would also even out the difference. Now, look at this hand. Now this hand screams half flush. And it whispers full flush. We have 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9. We have 4 honors, Westwind, and each dragon once, green, white, and red and white. The 8 is the Dora, but this we really don't want. All right, let's do this. Ah, we have a pair of dragons, so we're going for the half flush. The West is out twice. The white and the red dragon are actually still in there. Oh, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. Pair of dragons for a hot flush. Yes. Okay. So, now. You would think that it doesn't matter whether we drop the white dragon or the red dragon at this point. And a donkey. Shrek. There is an argument to be had about the probability of Uradoras, which are the Dora indicators that are underneath here, and the sequence of them. And I forgot what that argument is, so we're just going to discard the white one. I'll look it up. Nope. Ooh, that's not useful. Actually, we now have 5 pairs in lightning. Yeah, I know. It's also like a super niche case. So it's not even worth explain. Just do it right. Yeah, I will look that up, and like I would have to think like a lot to get that back. Okay, let's discuss our options. Can this be a full flush? This can be a full flush if we discard the 2 dragons and only go for character tiles. That would basically force me to open this hand, preferably with a chi. Let's think this through. If we get a chi, 2, 3, 4, we still have 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 8, 9. Not a big fan. If we called it as a triplet, we have to discard the 2. So that's not good either. Let's consider for a moment that we can go for 7 pairs. So if we pick up a 2, a 7, or a 9, we discard one of them, and we are waiting for 7 pairs. The problem with that is that 2 9s are out and 1 7 is out. The most important part, I don't believe that calling this 3... Hang on, actually. 2, 3, 4. 3, 3, 3. 4, 4, 5, 7, 8, 8, 9. Oh! Hang on. We need to count this. We need to discard the 8. We need to discard the dragon. We need to discard the dragon. If we do 2, 3, 4... God. I used to be good at this. If we do 2, 3, 4, we can call this. We can call this. And we can call this. That's 3 calls, 3 discards. I think we're good. So what do we discard? We call 2, 3, 4. We are getting closer to Tempai. We discard the 8. Okay. One more problem is that everyone is hoarding Mun tiles. I haven't discarded any character tiles. He hasn't discarded any character tiles before that. He has discarded 2, and he has discarded 1. So if I open my hand now, revealing character tiles, how likely is it that they're going to feed me more character tiles? Now, this kind of depends on how the AI is written. If they are very human-like, they will most likely need them themselves. Oh. The thing is, we would have to call them as triplets. So let's not do it. Let's not call this. We were greatly rewarded. Oh. Also 7888. Right, I completely forgot about that part. We have 3 Doras. Right. So. Oh boy. Okay. Right. This is okay. So the ideas are 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Discard the 5. 7, 8, 9, and then 8, 8 Hatsu Green Dragon pair weights. Waiting on the final 8 in the game, which no one will discard because it's Adora, and the Green Dragons, which hasn't been discarded, which is kind of a problem, because that probably means someone else has it stuck in their hand. Other option is discard the 2 and 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. That's just E-Pickle, which is another winning condition. The thing is, can we do more? Can we discard the 9 and say 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3? Yes, that is the right choice. Okay. The naive choice is to discard the 2 and wait on the 8 and the Hatsu. Never gonna happen. But we have a decent choice, a decent chance that if we discard the 9, hang on. 888, 7888, huh? Oh, 5, 7, right. 5, 7 as a middleweight for the 6. Okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. No! No! We made the incorrect choice. No, we have to discard the Green Dragon. No! But, hey, we don't know. Come on, come on! No! Dang it! Alright. We had a dream. That's the sound of victory. Let's see who's in Tenpai. We're the only one in Tenpai. Okay. So at least we lose this 1,000, but we get 2,000 from everyone else. What's a Dora? Way into the room. Oh god, I like that. Oh god. I like that so much. Can we do it like this? Does this work? No? Is it this? Fuck! That's the wrong... Oh, is it quote add? There we go. Nice. And once again, our webcam is down. Battery... Okay. Oh sweet, I can add my level. You can, by the way. It looks really cool. If there wasn't a spring drop in there, I'd have a decent chance. No. This is play with VioBot, not Vio level spot. Also, the queue is closed, and I don't have that asset here. Right. Yeah, I added that yesterday on must be deleted all of Nintendo's service feature. Why did Fiend Shock not work? Are you not subbed anymore? Yeah, I guess. Or it didn't display right. Now. The dealership moves on, and we are in Oras. We are in the 4th South round, also known as the Oras round, which is Japanese for all last, which is English and not Japanese. But it's called Oras. Achievement? There's the achievement. Okay. Not had a Fini 7 in a long time, I see. I'm just happy I finally got to use the trick that twisters cancel spinning. Ah. I was wondering there was something odd with that. Okay. Right. Oh, what is a Dora? Right. Let's answer that question real quick. A Dora in your hand doubles the value of your hand. It is not a winning condition, but if you win with a Dora in your hand, it doubles the value of your hand. The more Doras you have, each of those doubles the the value of your hand. This is the Dora indicator. It's a 2. That means the Dora is the 3. So if I have a 3 pin, which is a piece that holds a place very dear to my heart. I have a keychain somewhere with something. Is that up there? No, it's not. I don't know where it is. Anyway, so any pin 3 in my hand, circle 3 in my hand. Y'all just wait till we get to FF8's triple triad game. What's that? Or should we find out when it happens? Alright. Now, its numbers go brrr, dead simple. Okay, now, what we have here is 4 continuance counters, so the hand is automatically worth 1,200 points more than it should be, and another 1,000. So, big money. So, once again, what time is it? It's Tanyao Nomi time. Oh, sorry, by the way, Tanyao is the hand that has no terminals and honors, and Nomi means only. And it's a very crude way of saying only, but it's used in Japanese, in Mahjong specifically. Reach Nomi, Tanyao Nomi. So, it's Tanyao Nomi time. The pair of West. We are West. So, maybe it's Yakuhai Nomi time. So, no. East, west, yes. East, south, west, north. So, if we get a triplet of west winds, we have a Yaku, and then we can not give a toss about anything else. So, let's discard the 1, because the 1 doesn't combine with the 4. Ah! Now we're cooking with gas. Red Dragon might have to be a pair, because he just discarded a Red Dragon, but we might see another Red Dragon. So, we can keep those and call those because they're instant Yakuhai. Instant winning condition. Alright, now 4 and 7 don't mix too well, but they're mostly in the middle. The 1 wasn't, which is why I discarded the 1. So the 7 is another candidate. We have 2, 4, 6, which is a trap, 8, 8, which is a pair, and we have 4, 7, 8. So we discard the 4. Oh, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we have 7, 8, 9. We have 4, 7. We have this neat little sequence, so we'll discard the 7. Oh, 3, 4. Okay, 3, 4. This is the Dora. So, 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, 5. Both fair game. We can shuffle up our little trap here, and we will need to get rid of those anyway, because we need to call this, we need to call this, and we need to call this. So we need to get rid of the 2, the 4, and the 6 in that order. Ah! Tricky! Slight problem, because this is the Dora. I'd rather not discard that right away. Let's check the differences. To get into first place, I need 3,200 points. That is either a direct hit... Oh, right. Alright. Let's subtract from that this 1,000 and this 1,200, which is 2,200. So we need 3,200. 3,200 minus 2,200 is 1,000. So we just need a cent in hand. A 1,000 point hand. So we really don't care about any value of any hand. We really just need a cheap, quick win. Damn. Okay, so let's toss away the Dora and go for... Nope, not that. Not that either. We'll go for all the calls we can... Yes, we call that. And we move on. We have our Yaku. We don't care about that. We will continue to call if you give me something to call. No. No. Come on. Yes! And this. And now 2 and 5. 2 and 5 will end the game. No. No. Come on. 2 and 5. Ah! No, no, we have to discard it. No, he declares reach. Okay, that means... Ah! Yes! Sumo. Okay. I hope I didn't miscount. If I miscounted, then I... But that's plenty. Okay, so we win. Let's summarize. We have one winning condition right here, which is worth 1 multiplier. We have 1 Dora, which is another multiplier. So we have 2 multipliers. Let's count the mini points. This pair of dragons is 2 points. This triplet is 4 points. This triplet is 2 points. So 2 and 2 and 4 is 8. Nothing else, nothing on the weight. So that's 20 plus 8. It's 28, round up to 30. So this is a 230 hand. 230. Oh! 230 is 2,000, isn't it? So in regular terms, that would split 500, 1,000. So 1,000 from the dealer and 500 from the sides. Yes, 1,000 from the dealer, 500 from the sides. But we get another 400 from all of them, and we get 2,000 from the pot, which brings us to 36,500 and him to 32,600, which means we got our lead back, and the game is over. 2:30, time to visit the dentist. Whew. Nice, that was exciting. I'm probably going to split the VODs into their individual hands. Also rigged. Here's a neat summary of what happened. East 1, 2, 3, 4, South 1, 2, 3, 4. Win by discard, win by self-draw, and continuation, and how many points everything was. Anata, me. Shimocha, the person to my left. Kokumen? No, not Kokumen, but something men. My opposite player, and Kamisha, the person to my left. Kamisha Shimocha? And what's the guy called across from me? Cool man? Hang on. Guys, help me. That's from Gakko, isn't it? Ah! No, it's not. Shit. Hang on. What is it? It's this and this. Oh god, I haven't drawn in a while. Okay. Come on. What was it? This. And men. Timing! Der other guy's called Steve. Gegenüberliegende Seite. Wie man das gegenüber Angesicht zu Angesicht geht. Timen. Tie. Okay. I wonder what tie that is. Which tie are you? Gegen, wieder, tie, Paar. Taisu, Logarithmus. Alright, so that was Mahjong, and that was like the first game on a list of possibly 6 games, which should have taken 15 minutes. It took us 3 hours. But I hope those explanations were worth something. Damn, it's already 10 o'clock. That means we don't get to do anything else today. Thank you everyone for watching today. I will split this up as a VOD into their educational, of course. Let's put on the lobby music, which is this one. My explanation speedruns with puzzles with the viewers. Oh, by the way, there are puzzles. There are like what would you discard puzzles. And let's see if anyone is online and playing Mahjong preferably. Maybe, just maybe, Doc is online. Just maybe. No, he isn't. Ish just went on. Peace out. Okay. We might be raiding Ish actually. Let me just check. Is anyone playing Mahjong? No. But people are playing Mahjong Soul, which is the Weeb client. And we are going to be using the Weeb client, I'm afraid. No. Okay, we're just gonna raid Ish. Yes! We are gonna raid Ish again. Oops. Shit, which one is it? This one? Peace! See you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.